baby. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody can hear you. So what's up? Hey Elijah, what's up, man? CGI Life. Make sure the audio's working. Time to feed the baby. Oh God. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody can hear you. So what's up? Okay, yeah, it's working. He's chilling. He just having a mood. Come on, baby. Time to eat. We lit, we bike. Oh, your monkey ass. What's up, man? I was on baby duty today. We switching shifts. And it's one of them things you can never just get a consistent thing. So, it's life. So, yeah. Should I have fought him? Baby. I don't know what that means. Should you have fought him? Yeah, man. So I'm here. I was out running around with him today. It was hot today too, so I just took him on the underground, and we was just chilling. Just chilling. Can y'all see him very well? He looks real. Like, he looks a lot smaller. Probably because his angle. You know how things are behind the camera. It never looks like real life. Like it's never like proper. He looks like real. He's not as small as he looks in the in the camera. But yeah, the God of War and AD, yeah. AD Kratos. What up, AD? Are you planning on doing the Thursday? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. I gotta check the email. I was gone pretty much, well, not all day, but a lot of the days. I just could like this is now with the baby, like especially now the baby things are just so It seems like as soon as I get my footing, then something else happens, type of thing. So it's like, well, I just got to get completely used to it. I'm still not like totally used to it, But he's chilling though. He's getting a lot. He's at 9 weeks. He's finally gained legitimate awareness. I've noticed it today, right? Because he was tripping in the kitchen. I was making some food, and he started crying, right? And I could like talk to him to like talk him out of it, and also like I could tell he like he's not like before he would just start crying and just be like on a total rampage of crying. Like once he started, there was just no stopping this shit. Now it's like when he was crying, he was like crying, he could like actually hear himself type of shit, and he was like playing with his own voice kind of thing, and you could tell he was like crying, but he was like how like he's gained awareness, like this is my fucking voice, like this is actually my voice making this sound kind of thing. So yeah, he's gained it, like he never did that before. He's gaining like he's definitely hit a few big mental jumps. I say in the last about 3-4 days. I hear you. I know you're here. She probably doesn't pay me attention. This is my son. Yeah. Getting too hyped with this baby bottle. Yeah, I'm going on, baby. You're fine, baby. See, I don't know what this is. He never used to do this before. This shut light, baby I don't think it's too hot. It's definitely not too hot. And he went through a real bad period of like, as soon as you take the bottle out of his mouth, he starts crying. He went through a bad period of that, probably about the last week or two. And I think now he's finally starting to come off of it. I've been working on it with that too. That was the other part where I think he's gained, like legit awareness is like he was going through this phase, like if he like, here's the thing. With the dogs, with any pet or animal or any small child I ever had before, I could leave them with a bunch of food and they would just and okay, like you always heard stories about people with dogs, right? People with dogs, they can only leave like so much food out, or else the dog would just eat all the food and pretty much just kill itself or like puke it all up or something like that. Every dog or every small child I had before him, I could leave out an entire fucking buffet, and this child or pet or whatever would just eat enough till it got full and then just leave. I never had a problem. But with him, he got to the point where, with Kratos got to the point where he could, like, if I were to fill this bottle all the way up, he would just eat the whole bottle. Like he just wouldn't stop. And I've never had this before, so that was a new thing for me to acknowledge, right? Because like I've never had any type of responsibility over a human that did not know when to stop eating, type of shit. Because I still remember my last dog. Her name was Scarlet. Scarlet. Yeah, she like I could leave her. I could leave Scarlet home with expensive clothes around, PlayStation wires, all types of shit, and I would leave for 4 or 5, 6 hours to come back, and nothing would be. I could leave a dog, more like the whole bag of dog food out. She would take what she needed, and she would go off somewhere and lay down, and nothing. Scarlet never destroyed a thing. Now the dog I had before Scarlet was Baxter, because I love Anchorman, and I named that dog Baxter. But he was a Rottweiler. which made it even more funny because Baxter and Ron Burgundy's this little small dog, and I named like a stereotypically violent dog Baxter. Now one time Baxter did rip off the wall because it's drywall in America. He got bored one time and he ripped off the drywall one time. But to be fair though, I'm not mad about it because he had a perfect reason. Because when I first got Baxter, the Rottweiler, I only worked 3 days a week. I worked at Dell, and they had this great schedule, right? This great schedule was you work 3 days a week. You work. You okay, baby? You okay, baby? You work 3 days a week for 12-hour days. But you got paid for 48. You worked 3 days a week for 12 hours. It was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and you got paid for 40, right? And on top of that, like we all became a family there, right? Everybody became super close, super cool. We went to everybody's house, we like on the off days. They got me into building computers and playing World of Warcraft back then, like before there was any expansions or anything like that. They got me on it back then. This was maybe 2006, maybe about 2005, 2006, maybe 2007ish. It was in that time period. And yeah, so I was only working those. So for those 3 days, I would take Baxter to this girl who lived downstairs from me because she had a dog, and I would let her watch him, while I'd be at work, type of thing, right? Well, that job, I was on contract for like a year and a half. And after that contract was up, you had to take like a 3-month break or something like that. So when I had to take that break, I went and worked at a I went and worked at a factory, but I worked overnight, like 8 hours a night. And I had never left Baxter like just completely alone like that for 8 hours. So he was fucked up. So I'm not mad at Baxter for ripping off the drywall. But outside of that, I never had issues. So he might start crying because usually when I take the bottle out of his mouth, he just throws a fit because he's used to eating something. But he might be, these last couple times he's been kind of chill for the most part. But he might flip out. If he starts flipping out, I'm just gonna take him in another room. He flips out too bad. But he's been good. He's been good a lot, except most of the time. But with this situation, like this time 3 days ago, he'd have been flipping out right now. As soon as I take the bottle out of his mouth. But yeah, he's like eating ready to go to sleep. But yeah. I guess that demigod energy is kicking in a whole bottle. Here it goes. Oh, he's chilling out a little bit. That's cool. You got 2 football for? Oh man, you are amazing. You got 2 kids. Yo, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine holding this responsibility over 2 kids. You are amazing. So coming from like newborn and up type of shit, you are fucking amazing, dude. AD, can you react to other videos and messages? Yeah, if I got time, I'll do it. Because I'm only going to be on till, it's 7:39 here now. I try to shut it down by 10. Shh, here it comes. Shh. Yeah, okay, baby. This is good. You guys should have seen him like a week ago. He'd just be ballistic. So this is like amazing. The fact that he's just doing this. Because he used to go just full nuclear. Like as soon as that bottle went out of his mouth, he would go. And just go. Now he might start crying because I cried. But yeah. He would just go fucking ballistic. I hear you in there. Yeah. Okay. I'm having one soon too. I got 4 months left. D still. Yo, man, I know the anxiety and all that shit is probably working at you, man, because it was, I mean, it was definitely hitting me at points, too. I mean, I'm not going to lie, because you're thinking about, okay, for me, it wasn't even real. Like, I think for men, as far as, like, it truly being another human, like, it's not real, but as far as, like, kind of maybe being a little worried about your future and all that shit, that's, I think that's going to, that hit me. But as far as him being, like, a whole other person, like, to be honest with y'all, like, I tell everybody this, I didn't really feel any real genuine connection to him until about the first month. I think, no, it was the 5th week. That was when it started hitting me, and I was like, oh my god, I love him now, type of shit. But at first, it was just like a duty. It was like, for the first about month, it was just it was a duty. It was a baby who, knew nothing. And he's, and I gotta take care of him. But there was no, like, genuine, like, connection. Like, the connection for me didn't happen till about, I'm pretty sure it was, like, the 5th week. It was after a month. It was the 5th week. Then it started to hit. It was like, oh, shit. Like, I'm really, like, because it's one of the things, man, like, once it happens, and my dad told me this before. He said, yeah, your life is never gonna be the same after. Like, no matter what happens, dude. Like, no matter what happens, like, you will be forever changed type. Like, when it's yours type of shit, like, because, like, now it's like, it's a never ending thought process or job, no matter from the best scenarios to the worst scenarios. Like, I know some people gonna be kind of sensitive, but I think about these deeper scenarios, right? Like, even from because it's my job to even talk to people in these situations. So, like, from the best scenario to he's like, fully self-sufficient, doesn't need my help anymore, whatever. Like I'm always gonna be worried about him because he's always gonna be my son. There's nothing that can ever take that, there's nothing that can ever take that away, right? No matter what happens, he's always gonna be my son, right? No matter if he becomes bigger than Elon Musk and has to employ Elon Musk for a job, he's still gonna be my son, right? So, like, a part of me is always going to have that, like, I feel like a part of me is always going to have that connection and protection, right? But then even, like, if you think, like, the worst case scenarios, like, some people, they have stillbirths or whatever the fuck, like, well, then it's like, well, what would he look like if he would have, like, been 16 or, 25 and all that? So, like, it's one of the things, like, once it happens, like, no matter what path, you take, whether intentionally or unintentionally, I think, like, your life is all, like, your thought process is always going to be definitely altered for sure. Now that's my son. Now that Pimped Out Platypus says, now that my son is almost 10 years old, I can't really imagine life without that responsibility for him. Yeah, I can't even imagine, dude. Because, like, he's 9 weeks old now. I can't even imagine 10 years of that shit, dude. Like. But yeah, like, once it happens, there is no going back. Like, you just nothing. You can't go backwards off this shit. Like, once it happens, it happened, and it's just it type of thing. And you just gotta keep. Don't get me like, here's the other part. I don't tell many people this, dude. I don't tell many people this at all. But I mean, even now, your boy AD is do some gangster shit and all this. I still get terrified, right? Like, I'm terrified a lot of times because I'm over here living, I'm living in Prague, and I don't have many people to really, to look around and truly get that deeper advice of, like, of being alone, of being, like, truly alone over here type of shit. And, and look, because I'm just a little dude from Cincinnati, Ohio. All right. I'm just a little dude from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm 5'7". I'm just a little dude from Cincinnati, Ohio, who, if I had done what I was told by society, not my parents, but by society, I'd be somewhere sweeping a fucking broom in a factory somewhere, sitting around fantasizing on what my life could have been, right? And instead, I chose, and instead, like what Jay-Z said in Renegade, like, I drove past the fork in the road and went straight. That's essentially what I do. Now, the good part is, yeah, you do take a chance and you actually get to live life. But on the back end of it, when you go alone, man, you be alone. Like, and then, like, depending on what you do and how you did it and the timing and when you did it, that should, like you end up more alone because you don't have as many people to talk to, and it's not easy to find people to talk to that's in the same boat as you. Because, like, okay, here's the thing. I was thinking earlier. Because I was thinking about just going to go get a job because I want to buy a house or a flat or something. So, but I need a job. I gotta pay, pay taxes and get some income from Czech Republic to, to have a great chance of doing that shit. But but here's the thing, like since I never really worked, like since I never really worked and worked like for responsibility and shit like that. Now I got to worry about him. If I go to work and be gone away from him, I have to be away from him for 8 hours and deal with the world's bullshit. Like, since I've never been down that path in any way, like I don't even like. I'm scared to even go try that shit. I don't even know if I'd even fit in. Like I don't even know that culture. You see what I'm saying? Like to go out and work and deal with somebody else's shit for 8 to 10 hours a day and do that shit like not just one day a week, but 5 days in a row. Like I just never even lived my life like that. So I don't even know how to really even. I don't even know how to do it. To be honest, man. So I have I honestly have little breakdown moments like what did I get myself into type of shit. But yeah, but on the back end, since I do have, a specific skill, I have a few skill sets and shit. Like I'm always gonna have a way to get money, but it's just that deeper feeling of just being alone, Because like I said with the entrepreneurship shit, like so that people always brag about on YouTube and Facebook, like you need to be your own man and you gotta take chances on it. What they not telling you is them motherfuckers be freaking out and they scared because they alone. They don't bring those other sides up to how it's so gangster to be an entrepreneur. Like when every decision you make relies on you. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different set of responsibilities, and it's deeper and it's harder and it's more and it's scarier. You see them entrepreneurs, when they be sitting in them interviews and they little blazers and they sneakers with their hands crossed trying to talk like they the shit. Yeah, they putting on that act to look brave up there, and a part of them is brave. But see, they not telling you about them panic attacks by being alone and and what do they do next with their life and that how they can't really relate to the friends they grew up with because they friends went off and worked jobs and now they went to the world alone. See, they not them entrepreneurs ain't telling you all that, but they'll make a clip and put it on YouTube with some gangster music playing behind it. To what they say, was it make some feel good music and shit? You know what I'm saying? To make their life look like that's just the end and it's just all heaven and sunshine and roses after that. They ain't telling you that whole. That's why I tell you guys all the time, man. Like no matter what life you have, there's gonna be pluses and minuses to it. No matter if you had $1 billion, you're just gonna have $1 billion problems now. Or if you working in Walmart, well now you got Walmart problems now. Or if you whatever. If you 4'5", well you got 4'5" people problems. If you 6'9", well now you got 6'9" people problems. There's always gonna be something. So that's why I always tell people, look, just be happy with whatever you got, and just and soldier on, and chill, man. I work 7 days a week and still work for myself after I got kids. It's like what you said. You can't be afraid to love something, but let it go. And I dropped them a dime. Word up. Try to apply to international companies that have offices in your city. They will snap you up quick. Yeah. Crispy bacon. I agree. Hey, baby Kratos. You read a few more of these comments. AD, try to apply to HR positions for large corporations. Your credentials in American English will get you great salary. Yeah, well, yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, we hear you, baby. Let's get you front and center. We hear you, baby. Let me read a few more of these comments. AD, I've been listening to you long enough to know you're going to be a great father. After being a parent for nearly a decade myself, I can tell when someone is built for this, and you are, bro. Yo, thanks a lot, Pimped Up Lab. I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, we were having issues with him, like puke, because he, not puking because he's sick, but puking because because he doesn't really know how to control his, his muscles yet. So he'll feel like he has to burp, but then puke and something, puke or, or when he was on gas medication, like, oh God, like it forced the gas up, but then he didn't know to stop pushing and just like projectile vomit everywhere. So don't vomit on my MacBook. This motherfucker's expensive. All right. It's coming out of your pay later on in life. Where we at? Facts. My boy's an entrepreneur and told me what you just said. Yeah, Java. Yeah, man. Yeah, motherfuckers be trying to paint this shit like. You know, don't get me wrong. There are sexy moments there are sexy moments where I do just like put my feet up on the balcony and just look over Prague or some shit like that with some sunglasses on. You will hit moments like that, but there's definitely bad points too. There's definitely bad points too, man. And motherfuckers don't like to talk about that. You might catch a 15-second clip on YouTube or something, but motherfuckers don't talk about it like that for real, man. Like, they just paint it as all sunshine and roses. You know? You okay, baby? When my dad used to own a gas station, he would work 7 days a week, about 14 hours. Entrepreneurship is rough and lonely. Never realized it since my dad raised me and my sister had a sister as a single father. Yeah, man, I just like being alone. Because here's like when you work in a job, man, it's like both sides have good sides and bad sides to it. But when you work in a job, dude, it's like when you just go to a job, you just go like that. That's like that job is not your baby, right? Like not in the sense of like baby, but like whatever you're doing, like if you're like an entrepreneur, like whatever your business is, like that is your baby, right? Like you put your life into that shit, right? So you have like a much deeper connection, and you got to handle the highs and lows. So when you go to work, right? When you just go work at like any job, it doesn't matter what job it is. If the company's going through a high or low, well, most jobs, you're not going to really feel it as the employee. You just showing up and you going to get your check and you going to bounce when you're done. You don't really feel that unless you just get fired, get laid off. You're not going to feel that high and low, directly. As long as you just keep getting a check, you just be like, oh, well, yeah, business is slow, and then that's it. But when you own that shit, like you seeing that money go up and down, like you got to know how to mentally handle that and take losses and bad decisions and, all that. Because you're going to fuck up, dude. As an entrepreneur, like you're going to fuck up and make a bad decision, a bad move, or just missed out on something when you could have been there, but you just need, like, you're going to fuck up. Like, you're going to fuck up for sure. But it definitely takes, it's in the part with my life is the fact, see, since I've never worked, like I can recognize that part of it would be kind of a vacation for me since it's, since it wouldn't be my total responsibility for that job. But on the other side, from my walk of life, I would feel, okay, the only reason I would do it is just so I can actually buy a house and put him in it type of shit, right? So that would be the main priority of why I would do it. Literally after I'd buy the house, I would just quit the job and just pay the mortgage. But I would, other than that, like I would feel like I would just be losing myself, everything that I am and became over these years. I feel like I would just be losing it, for somebody else's shit. And that's just how, how my life turned out and ended up, Hey, D, glad to see the young man in training is doing good. Yeah, hey, Dark Rebel, yeah, man. Thanks a lot, man. AD, why do women get their bodies covered in tattoos? Okay. Well, ultimately, in most cases, you get just try to stand out and get attention. In most cases, because that's sentiment. Like I got tattoos for sentimental reasons, but but like I got the tattoos my tattoos were for sentimental reasons for myself. It wasn't to get attention. Man had a baby, time flies. Yeah. Where'd you get that baby? From the dollar store. He was on sale for 15 cents because he cried too much. No, he's getting better. He's getting a lot better with his crying. A lot better. He's getting a lot better with his crying. We see you, baby. How long you been on? 26. I'm gonna give about 5 more minutes. And I'm gonna take him to his mom and start the legit live stream in a bit. Catch back up on these comments. Dick McGuffin says, of course you're alone for the most part when you're doing your thing because it's a lot of room in the bottom and it gets real skinny at the top. Just comes with the territory. Yeah. And here's the thing, man. Like if everybody knew what to do to just be, infinitely rich, everybody would just do it. So there's no real. I mean, there are some formulas that make, that you can't deny are logical, but in the reality of it, man, if everybody knew what to do to just if everybody knew what to do to just please everybody, everybody would just do it, right? There's nobody on earth who would look at that and be like, say, nah, I don't want that. If everybody knew what to do with their business or whatever, what they're selling, trading, whatever the fuck, if everybody just knew, like, okay, this would be what I need to do, to be crazily successful, everybody would just do it. And same thing with dating. Same thing in the dating world with men and women. If guys knew, because women complain about guys all the time, but if guys knew what like that specific woman wanted, every guy would just do it. Like, but we don't know what to do, so guys gotta just try some of anything and see what works. Sometimes it be creepy, sometimes be smooth, sometimes be a gentleman. They just try shit. Like, if everybody knew what to do, they would just do it. Ooh, you burp. I'm waiting for him to puke, because I'm the one few times he burped it and puked right after it. So I'm like, I'm ready. I'm holding it. You chilling? You chilling? Well, you got 2 more minutes of showtime. You going to the other room. AD, your child looks like a mannequin to keep raising a champion. Looks like he's chilling. You look like a mannequin though. Listen, he's gotten a lot better with his crying, man. Cause y'all should have seen about a month and a half ago. Oh my God, it was like just either like it was either just like belligerent crying or sleeping. It was like one of the two. It was never anything else. Like, he didn't know how to just wake up and just chill. Like, it was either belligerent crying or sleeping, and you were so anxious about him waking up and crying again that you still couldn't even rest for real, because it would just be belligerent. Like, it was just waking up to like you were ripping his arm off type of thing. Your kid has your hair. Yeah, we got the same hairstyle. Baby Kratos look like he getting flashbacks. Honestly, yeah, I don't like. Yeah, okay. Dark Rebel says I don't like corporate America, as most of the people are normies with brochure talking points. My headphones. I'm totally with you, Dark Rebel, on that. Yeah, because yeah, I don't care for corporate either, because it's just like this whole just suck up world and mentality, because everybody secretly thinks that if somebody likes them that they gonna become CEO next week of the whole company. It's this whole just delusional shit. Like, and every time I had this conversation, like I talk to people about this, right? And every time I have this conversation about the especially corporate world, like, the world is really backwards with this shit, man. Like, people go to get jobs and hope that other people there like them, because they think if people like them, that's gonna make them special, and that makes them somehow immune to any negativity, and they'll just make more money in the company or whatever the fuck. When in the reality of the world, it's when those corporate follower drone motherfuckers don't like you, and you go off and just be your own human, and then you fuck around and catch traction as being your own human, then that's gonna make you special and popular amongst all them at that. Once you've gone out in the world and you became on your own, like the whole thing is like life in general is just the whole thing's backwards. Like, it's completely backwards. So you done, Baby Kratos, you done? All my other corporate jobs have been yeah. Yo, thanks, Alchemist. Boy. Read this last one. Depends on what you do. In my current job, I have a lot of creative freedom to get my work done, and I can see how it impacts my local community. But this is my first job with this combo. Yeah, I tell everybody when I worked that job at Dell, I just told you guys about. I worked at Dell, and it was at Friday, Saturday, Sunday shift. Here's what happened. Okay, my theory on working jobs is this. For me, it doesn't really matter what the job is I'm doing. It's if where I'm going to work, everybody acts like they have some common some sense, and we got sense of humor, and we can laugh and all that shit. So when I worked at Dell, we all were cool with each other. Everybody was cool, right? So when I left for a while and I came back, I got assigned to a different department that was actually easier work. Everything was prepared, but I didn't stay 2 weeks. Because I just didn't get along with the people. You know, if here's the thing. Right now, if I knew if I go out there right now and find a job with people like that again, I would take that job and take shitty pay and do that job. I would do it. Happily do it. I would rather take a job with shitty pay, but I know we all know each other and everybody's cool and everybody has each other. Everybody there has each other's back on this shit. And you can trust each other. I would rather take that job and take shitty pay than take a job that's paying a whole lot more and you don't like anybody, can't trust anybody. You just don't, you always gotta look over your back every 2 seconds and make sure that somebody's not telling on you and all this goofy shit. Like, I'd rather take the lower paying job, for real. I'd rather be poor. I'd rather just be poor. That's me. I'd rather just be poor instead of deal with that shit. Let me take him to the other room. So say bye. Say bye, baby Kratos. Boy. Are you looking like he's been doing that lately, just looking at everything like I think what's happened is he finally became aware, so he's just like shocked that he's like can focus on something else, on something in life now. I think it's just that he's shocked that he can focus now. I'm gonna take him to the room. I'll be right back. He put on this.
This just in. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are now in court for Amber Heard saying that Johnny Depp assaulted her. Courtrooms are livid because usually when the woman says the man does anything, he just immediately goes to prison right away with no questions asked. Again, the court is just full out astonished. We had to get people to show up. Nobody knows what's going on. For some reason, this evil man just keeps bringing up all this so-called evidence into the room. Everyone is completely shocked, to the point we had to even bring in tons of people to keep up with it. It just doesn't seem to make any sense. I mean, how can a woman actually do something that she could be held at fault for? It's completely impossible.
Yeah, so for some reason, I worked these cases for over 45 years, and every time it's the same thing. When the woman comes in and says she's in any type of harm, we don't even pay attention to the man, we don't listen to the man, we usually just throw him away, worship the woman from here on out, because that's what we do, right? Duh!
This just in. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are now in court for Amber Heard saying that Johnny Depp assaulted her. Courtrooms are livid because usually when the woman says the man does anything, he just immediately goes to prison right away with no questions asked. Again, the court is just full out astonished. We had to get people to show up. Nobody knows what's going on. For some reason, this evil man just keeps bringing up all this so-called evidence into the room. Everyone is completely shocked, to the point we had to even bring in tons of people to keep up with it. It just doesn't seem to make any sense. I mean, how can a woman actually do something that she could be held at fault for? It's completely impossible.
Yeah, so for some reason, I worked these cases for over 45 years, and every time it's the same thing. When the woman comes in and says she's in any type of harm, we don't even pay attention to the man, we don't listen to the man, we usually just throw him away, worship the woman from here on out, because that's what we do, right? Duh!
All right. Me back. All right, so we are back. Oof, it's hot. You open up that one. Let me open this window. It's hot today in Czech Republic. Ugh. All right. So, Chrissy Bagan, I'm an engineer. Sounds like you got a lucky situation. Hope it works out. I mean, that's cool. Hey, D, what motivated you to start this channel? Oh, I was just, man, I was living here in this flat, and I was just bored. I just didn't have anybody to really talk to or anything like that. You know, in fluent English. You know what I mean? Like, because you can, yeah, I do. You know, because my girl speaks English. You know, we got people who can speak English, but like I can't there's certain it's a different kind of English, right? Like it's fluent, and I can speak fast, and I don't have to worry about you like understanding what I said, type of thing, and shit like that. That's why. Well, I didn't even know her when I first started this channel, though, and it just, I just wanted to talk in English, and on top of that, I was just thinking a lot and shit like that, So I just made a channel and didn't really hope for anything to happen with it. Just started it. And then, I think how the channel kind of got a little big at first was because I didn't know how to use any of this shit. I didn't know how to do any. Let me switch this to the actual what we're gonna do today. I didn't know how to do any video editing, not video editing, because I had a YouTube channel before where I would make music video. I was making music videos as a comedy, but I got shut down because I was making fun, because I made fun of Donald Trump. That's why I think my Patreon got shut down, because I was saying wild shit before until I started putting how Ukrainian bitches were webcamming throughout that war, and all of a sudden my Patreon got shut down. I bet that's what got me shut down on Patreon, because I was putting that shit up, and what was it? And put they flat, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Ukraine, what happened? Ukraine, yeah, y'all got time, you still got time to sell pussy? It's all this shit, right? I bet that's why I got shut down. But no, I got shut down before on YouTube a long time ago. I ain't get any warning or anything. Like when I got when I got shut down on YouTube the first time a long time ago, I got shut, no joke. I got shut down like so hard. I ain't get any type of warning, no nothing. I just tried to log in and the shit was just gone. They just deleted it. I guess they thought my feelings was hurt after that. Where is this? Okay, I got you right here. Sent 7 hours ago. Yo, yeah, I seen the email about the request for BitChute, man. Like I was on baby duty all day, man. I when I read the email,
Hell to the no. So you guys, we went.
When I read the email, I was literally on the train, on the underground train. I just couldn't, I just couldn't do it. Hang on, let me see this is right.
Hell no.
Okay, here we are. So let's open this. Well, come on, baby. But yeah, because I was into video editing, but I wasn't into like doing this thing. Like I had no idea how to work like OBS or anything like that. I had absolutely no idea how to do it at the time. And somebody, I can't remember exactly who that was. I can't remember exactly who it was, but somebody has sent me a link to OBS. And I think I Googled how to do it or something like that, and it was actually a whole lot easier than I thought it ever was. So as soon at first I didn't know how to make like myself in this window in the top screen. I didn't know how to do that. So all I knew how to do was to just play a video, have my voiceover. And that first video I did, I got like literally 10 times the views that I would get in one day in 1 hour. I had like 1,000 views wait, what am I trying to say? After one day, like the biggest I think the channel got back then was I would get like maybe like 100 views, right? But then after I made it a little bit more better, with Streamlabs, it went up to like 1,000. Man, got this Streamlabs shit just randomly doesn't act right with the smallest shit. See, now I can't find the browser that I want. So do I gotta remove it? Let's try locking it. Would that do something different? No, I don't want the battery. Where is fucking... I can't find it. Damn, I know how I could do it another. I just don't want to have to remove it and add it back in again. Like, it's Streamlabs shit, man. Like, they just fuck up. Like, don't ever pay for Streamlabs, man. I really need to just switch, but I'm just too lazy to do it. I need to just switch. I need to switch just the whole whatever I'm streaming on. I need to just switch it completely, because it's just fucking like, it's just not worth it, dude. It just fucks up in the smallest areas that shouldn't fuck up at all. Like, you know how my audio just randomly is just bad for no reason. They ain't touch anything. I hope it's still working right. Yeah, and now it's like this huge fucking, like, this fucking stupid Streamlabs shit. Like, why the, what the? Oh my God, dude. Here, yeah, that's good enough. Y'all can see it. Let me make sure the audio's working. Hey, Elijah, I hope it's still working, right? Okay, yeah, it's working. Okay, so, catch back up on a few comments. I'm gonna start with this video. Oh, yeah, the screen was blank because you had to do window capture, and for some reason it just doesn't want, like, whatever window you're gonna want is just Streamlabs just fucks up and just doesn't fucking register it like randomly one time, and it's like you gotta like remove it and then add it back. It's just a pain in the fucking ass, man. It really is. AD, I was one of the ugliest babies when I was born. According to my father, I didn't find babies cute at all, but your child is not ugly. No, I don't, man, like, because here's it, like, I think with babies, man, like when they be babies like that, like, very rarely are they, because they just not anywhere near, like, developed. Because I look at pictures of him when he was, like, you know, a baby, when he was, like, a newborn, and if anything, he looks Asian. Like, he looks like Asian for real, when he was, like, a little baby. And now he's starting to grow into, you know, I guess, like, you know, the eyes and all that shit. Why not just use OBS? Because as far as I know, I don't know how to set up the donations on regular OBS. If there is a way you can do it, I mean, I would love to know. I just never looked in, because I'm just lazy with some shit. I just never looked into it. But as far as I know, you can't set up donations with just regular OBS. You gotta use Streamlabs OBS. But that's as far as I know. I use and have very few problems. Yo, I'm glad. Hey, oh well, yeah, I'm glad it works for you, man. Dark Rebel says, you all about the Ukraine shit? Yeah, you went against the narrative on the war and you criticize women. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what got my Patreon shut down. I'm pretty certain that's what it was. So yeah, anyway, let's get started with this. Dingbat Real 818. Let's go.
Hell to the no. So, you guys, we went on a second date. I went on a second date with that guy that I was telling you about from the other video. And you know what? He is bloody dope. He's awesome. He was kind. He's chivalrous. He swept the fucking snow off my car for me after the first date. Like, what the flying fuck? And so now we are in trouble because part of me is like, maybe I should shave like my whole entire body in case he thinks it's like a wonderland and like wants to use his hands. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I am saying. Okay. And then there's this other bitch that lives in the other part of my brain who's like, hey, so like, I notice things are going like really good for you right now. So if it's cool with you, I'm just gonna help you self-sabotage and help you yeet yourself into the abyss. Does that sound cool? Because it sounds like a lot of fun to me. You know what? That does not sound like fun to me anymore. Because now I'm in this like weird spot where I'm like, do I text him back or do I just tell him I'm a ghost from the 16th century and like once every 100 years I get to walk this earth and that makeout session that we had is never going to happen again because he will be dead by the time I get to walk the earth again. Yes, Mom, that's why my nose is red. Do not slut shame me. God.
Y'all don't understand. I used to date 2 broke men. I used to do it. I used to be the one to pay for everything. I deserve better than fucking coffee.
I mean, do you though? Do you really? It's all very well and good to get on the internet and say, I deserve. But here's the thing, by the way, is like, this woman would come across men who would offer her more than that. She's just not choosing the men who would give her more than that.
Yeah.
Because they're boring, they're too easy, they're a bit weird, they don't earn enough money, etc., etc. Like, the list goes on. Yeah. But those men are available to her. And here she is. See, what she's really saying is, I want more from the men who don't want to commit to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with him 1,000%. Yeah. 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 It's just like I said, this is woman conditioned. This is why you just never follow women in anything in life. Let me make sure the audio's still working right. You just never follow them because now it's like this huge. Okay, yeah, because with that whole 80-20 rule shit, right? Which is real shit. Science. I mean, it's literally a scientific fact. You can't negate it. Right, from all the data taken from literally every online dating pool, you cannot deny that they. I mean, women can try to get mad if you bring it up because women don't like to use facts and arguments, but it's literally factual information taken over years. Like 80% of women are going to want the top 20% of men. And I just told it to on Facebook, like don't even bother with this shit, right? Because it's nothing but terrorism, right? Women and children are literally born terrorists, right? Women and children are terrorists in the context of, okay, so for example, let's say, because I was on Facebook and I wrote this explanation out. Let's say that, okay, so right now the top 20% of men are guys who are 6 feet tall, guy with 6-pack abs, with dick over 6 inches or whatever the fuck, and the 6'6" and all that shit, right? That's the top 10 to 20% of men, right? So, and I want to make Twilight Zone episodes now, just for the dating market, like just for the I kind of want to make like legit. I might look into that, trying to make legit episodes for like legit Twilight Zone episodes. I bet I do a better job than that Jordan Peele, whatever that did with it. I bet I do a better job with it than he ever did with that show, but. My Twilight Zone episode would be that. Well, there was a similar Twilight Zone episode, but it wasn't necessarily about what I'm going to go into. Let's say, since women make it clear they want a guy who, in the dating market and on online dating apps, when it comes a time for them to actually choose a man, this is what they're going to go after for one reason or another. The guys who are 6 foot tall, 6-pack abs, blah, 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 right, all that shit, right? Think to yourself, what would happen if men gave in to women's demands, right? Really think about the world and the world's dating market if men truly gave into women's demands, right? So let's say every man on earth went, you know what? We're going to follow women. And we gonna be whatever women want. So we gonna get all the surgery, the leg surgeries to make us at least 6 foot tall. We're gonna work our ass off and do whatever we can. We gonna rob, steal, and kill to make 6 figures a year. And we gonna work out and get 6-pack abs, and we'll get surgeries to make our dicks bigger and all that. Let's say men completely fucking followed a terrorist demand. What do terrorists always do? They gonna keep asking for more. So what would happen if every man on earth went out there and magically became 6-pack, 6'6", well, guess what? Those men would become the norm. And then what are women gonna want? They're going to want something higher than that for whatever the fuck it is. They'll just focus on because they're fucking stupid. Because they're not fully satiated with anything. If you sit down and you really try to satiate a child or a woman, it's either not going to work or it's not going to work for long. If you seriously sit down and try to fucking follow their demands and just do it, they're not going to be happy with it, dude. Really think about that shit. Again, it would just because and if it's the same scenario of people say that people saying that women don't want Russell Wilson, they want Future to act like Russell Wilson. From the first perspective, yeah, but in the reality, if she got Future to act like Russell Wilson, well, she still ain't gonna respect. Well, she not gonna respect Future anymore because now he Russell Wilson. She wants Future. You know what I mean? Like if you follow bitches into what they think they want, every time it's going to lead to self-destruct. It's going to lead to destruction. All right. It's going to lead to everybody. Like I said all the time before, a year ago, 2 years ago, if you let women stay in total control of shit, everybody in that room, that house, that family, that country, that continent, everybody's going to be confused, lost. Nobody's going to know what's going on. Nobody's going to know where anything is. Everybody's going to want something else. And nobody's going to know. Everybody's going to be just dumb as fuck. We already see what happens when you let women raise children alone. The crime rate soars. The child ends up more mentally confused and fucked up. And there's literally no, there is no study. There is not a single study that would ever lead you to come to the conclusion that it's okay to follow a woman in life. There is not one single study that you can bring up that you can find. Outside of trying to get money out of people, right? You can't find one. It just doesn't. You don't buy into what they say. Don't follow them. Because everybody, if you think shit's fucked up now, a lot in America especially, shit's fucked up now because women because women have found themselves in a position to shame men for pretty much anything and then start having a circle jerk on him for shaming him about it. And you see what's happened to America. This shit just keeps getting worse and worse and worse since that shit happened. Yeah. But back to women like this, who says, "Yeah, I don't want a coffee date. I'm worth so much more." Yeah, it's either one. Okay, either A, any guy who's valuable enough to see her can see, yeah, she really ain't worth a whole lot from the start, or B, it's a guy who can't afford to do more and all he can offer her is a coffee date type of shit, and and she thinks she's too good for that. For no other reason than she thinks she's cute and she thinks her pussy is worth something. So in other words, she thinks it's prostitution, right? Here's the thing. She's seeking long story short, she's seeking work as a prostitute. Let's just call a spade a spade. It is what it is. Why is she even going on this date? Because she knows the man wants sex. So what is going to get her satiated in the thing, and it's okay to have sex, based off her rant and many women's rant in this context, is how much money he's going to spend for her pussy. So what is that? It's prostitution. Okay? It's hooker shit. It's not now. Like I say all the time, it's all prostitution. At some point, the man has to come in there and be something, or have the belief that he can lead her to something in order for her to want to fuck him. So in one way or another, every woman is going to exchange her pussy for something of value from the man. Okay, that is throughout since the beginning of fucking time. That's what it is. I say it all to be woman, and in the deeper philosophical context of it, of the enlightened philosophical context of it, to be woman is to be prostitute. There's no working around it. There's no way you can work around it. Now you can try to disguise it. You gotta take me out first. But you see, you know what I'm saying? But there has to be an exchange that's gonna benefit her in some sense. That way she can give you, that way she feels comfortable in giving you sex. Prostitution. Okay? It may not just be a direct $20 bill, right? It may not be, you know, giving her your credit card, then she, you know, buys clothes and dress. It'll come out in direct, but it's prostitution. It's hooker shit.
Not doing that shit. I work too damn hard to be where I'm at, to be offered some coffee. I'm not doing it. I will be single for the rest of my life if every man on earth ever said that that was their only standard. Because I won't do it.
She gonna sell her pussy. She's not gonna sell her pussy for a cup of coffee. She's got to sell her pussy for more. For she gonna sell. What she's literally looking you in the face with a dead serious face after she spent 2 hours putting on makeup and getting her hair and straightening her hair to look cute in front of the camera for a potential man to find. What she's literally looking at you and telling you directly to your face is, I'm not selling my pussy for coffee anymore. I gotta sell it for more money or I'm gonna be alone. Right? What did I say last night about, was it the Harvey girl, the Steve Harvey stepdaughter? When women use that excuse of, see, this woman right here, this is literally the same thing as the Harvey stepdaughter, that girl. How she said, oh, 25-year-old me wants something different than 21-year-old me. What that translates into is 21-year-old me would have sucked dick for coffee. 25-year-old me wants a 5-star restaurant to suck dick. That's what it's going to come down to every fucking time. Facts. I wrote you a message regarding this on. All right, let me check subscribe star real quick. Where we at? Here we are. Actually, I still got that link. Shut up. Okay, so yeah, so real quick, Mo said, hey D, I wanted to add more commentary to a statement that you have said during a past live stream. You stated that older dudes tend to treat women poorly. I can understand why this situation happens. When we're young, a lot of us are told to be nice and kind in order to get a relationship. As kids, we take advice and run with it, however it fails miserably. Only a couple of kids were taught on how women operated. My dad always told me when he dropped me off to school in the morning, a woman's attraction does not pay the bills. No need to treat them nice. Mind your own business. Yeah, that's real shit. As a teenager, I did not understand it. The only way I thought I could get a woman's attraction was to be someone popular or be very attractive. During that time, I seen how women treated me compared to someone else. If you were not their level, they would look. Yeah, if you're not on their level, they would look at you in disgust. Yeah. And here's the thing. Their ego is so fucked up. Their ego is so fucked up. They don't even regard you as human in these time periods. Like me, they never even regarded me as human. Like, you're, as a man, unless you become in some kind of way, either on purpose or on accident, you're just not even considered human yet to a woman. She just doesn't even consider, you don't even exist, at all. Because women say men do that to women, not at the same level that women do that shit to men. Nowhere near the same level how women do that shit to men. Men will just look at another woman harder and longer, and women take it as that. But when women do it to men, it's on serious literal level. You do not exist to woman unless you're on her level or higher. If she's clocked you, look, even in my neighborhood right now, dude. Again, I don't speak Czech that well, right? And motherfuckers know it. I'm not exactly, an enigma to figure out. Motherfuckers gonna look at me and tell there's a good chance I'm not gonna speak Czech, all right? And especially once they figure out I'm American, they know it's a great chance I'm not gonna speak Czech. But even when, I walk down the street, and this street is not a poor street. It's not a rich street, but it's definitely not a poor street. There's a few supercars down the street. There's a McLaren. There's a Rolls Royce on this street. There's that BMW supercar shit that when somebody got one of them on this street. There's a ton of BMWs and Mercedes. I got just a regular, and there's also regular cars like mine, like Ford Focus, shit like that. But when I walk down the street to go down to the store and get a beer or some juice or something like that, and okay, especially when I first moved in, women. Here's the thing. Women are so much worse with this. Women are so much more shallower than men, dude. If I'm walking up the street, and walk past a woman, I will catch her. She'll look at me, and then analyze my clothes to see the quality of the clothes. Pretty much say if she should respect me or not, if the clothes are expensive or not. It's fucked up, dude. It really, it's truly disgusting. It really is. Yeah, you said, who's this? Javi said they project on men. Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah, literally everything that women say men do that's awful, women do that shit easily twice as bad at minimum. On a good day, twice as bad. All the shit that they say men do. Oh, because with the whole thing. Yeah, let me finish this comment by Mo on Subscribestar. It was okay, at age 24, I've worked as an EMT, taxi driver, physical trainer, retail worker, and other jobs. Also, I had the opportunity to travel to third world countries as well as to Europe. I see how women work as a biological level. Essentially, they are looking for their protection. Yeah. What makes me personally not have respect for them is the fact that when they are in downfall, they become nice. Yeah, yeah. I agree 1,000%. Yeah, well, they don't become nice until they realize they've lost, or it's a good chance that they can lose to somebody in that room, and that's when they'll know how to speak all of a sudden. Like I tell you, I still remember this. Like when I would go back to the U.S. and see girls who I hadn't seen since before I left, to come over here, and they find out that I came over here. Oh, now all of a sudden these bitches won't shut the fuck up, and I never heard them talk before. Like literally never. It's like once you become, then it's like, and it now with you coming to Europe, they might say, okay, some girl's going to be impressed that you're American. So you can do that. Like you became to them just because of where you were born. Right. But, oh God. Yeah. I'm with you 1,000%, Mo. Or yeah, they become nice. They're being nice in order to receive protection. Yeah. Protection, yeah, I agree. Protection and possibly raising social status because she has a protection. Yeah, I am seeing it now. The same girls that treated me like shit back then are treating me nice. I'm not rude to them, however. Just like my dad said, I mind my own business. Yeah, I mind my own business now. Yeah, that was some real shit your dad said, man. I like that. To ground, to help with it, because initially men are just caught by women just because they're just women, right? So it's hard for a lot of men to deprogram. Like I said a long time ago, unless men grew up with their mother or grew up with a bunch of sisters, unless men grew up around that shit a lot, it's hard for guys to, like me. My mom died when I was 14, and I didn't grow up around any women like that, so it was hard for me to figure all that out, right? Because at one point, okay, because it's that thing, right? It's another topic. A man on Earth is willing to turn a girl, like a mentally girl, a girl into a woman, right? But a woman has nowhere near the patience to truly and truly want. They don't have the interest nor the patience to truly turn whatever that woman deemed as a boy into a man. Has anybody ever put thought into that? Like, okay, a man, and it doesn't matter how broken down the woman was. It doesn't matter what the woman's past was. None of that shit. I meant to bring an article from. It was an ex-prostitute in Prague, and I found this article, and I wanted to do it for a live stream, and I keep forgetting it. And she tells her whole story of how she got into prostitution and how she thought she was the shit. And then when she started hitting 28, 29, the drugs took over and she couldn't keep up with the 18-year-old girls. So when she just got out of the game and got married and had kids. You see, women, a woman, no matter how broken down a woman's life is, no matter how fucked up she is, no matter what happens to the woman, no matter what drug she's on or she has been on, no matter what her life was before, no matter how broken down a woman is, she can always just straighten her hair real quick, turn her head to the side and smile in a picture and have a man come along and take that mentally girl and turn her into what is essentially a woman, right? Pump her up with babies and, you know, change the way she dresses and make her a mother. And that's it, right? Her job is relatively speaking, fucking incredibly easy. Now, I'm not saying giving birth is easy, nothing like that. But the point I'm trying to make is a woman can always redeem herself and just become woman again, fairly easy. Fairly easy. She can always just tap out and just be, I think I'm just gonna stay at home. I'm gonna be a stay-at-home wife. I think I'm just gonna stay at home. Don't even have no kids, just stay at home, and nobody will even question, because what turns a girl into a woman? The fact that she's fucking and she she just exists, right? That's literally the only requirement, is she shuts the fuck up and she visually appears to be a grown woman. That's it, right? That's it. Whereas on the flip side, a guy who was like worshiping the ground a woman walks on and all this shit like that, but he's mentally a child, a woman is not going to go out her way and happily turn that mentally boy into a man. She is not going to, she just, unless she's super fucked up. Like, she has to be very fucked up to do that. Very fucked up. Because I got to find that article. It was, I forgot how I stumbled on it some kind of way. But yeah, it doesn't, and like a woman, it's so much easier for, here's the thing, it's so much easier for women to redeem themselves and just become woman and just forget her past and just, you know, relatively speaking, forget her past and just be woman. The woman dilemma is that's what Onyx is going through. They feel, okay, because here's the thing, or what this woman's going through, right? Or what most women, and especially most Western women, all women have this dynamic, right? If anybody is beneath them or equal to them, they're worthless to that woman. The woman always wants higher, right? And that woman condition, the woman dilemma, that's what destroys a lot of women, and like her, who's going to potentially stay alone for the rest of her life.
And I don't go the other way, so just to let y'all know.
But here's the thing, on top of that, the only thing, and like I say, like any, you know, manosphere guy or anybody would ever tell you, is the only thing that's even given this specific woman, the only thing because here's the men, we don't care about how much money she makes. We don't care. I mean, correction. The only guys who are going to care about how much money she makes are going to be guys who are beneath her. Because the only guy who's going to be impressed with how much money she makes to try to take her on as like an actual spouse type of shit, and they're going to be like, when a man goes out and he's looking for a spouse, he really does, and a man can truly hold his own shit and doesn't really need or ask anybody's help. He doesn't care how much money the woman makes. Okay? The only men who are going to be truly impressed by her working too hard and all this is going to be men who are looking for a place to live. So, and from her perspective, those men are going to be beneath her. But even with that said, the only thing that's given her confidence to even speak out on anything is because two things. One, she thinks she's cute. And two, she's this is all she knows in life as a young woman. She, like I said last night's live stream, women start the dating market out with an unearned fame, essentially. They start the dating market out in the position of unearned fame. They didn't really put much in it. They were just young, fertile, healthy women who figured out how to turn water on and wash her face from time to time, wash her underarms and wash her legs, and maybe found a couple big shavers, and and figured out how to use them, and probably cut herself 15 times where she figured out how to use that. She's like this for what she has to offer in a dating market. This specific woman, right? And essentially all women, right? The only thing that keeps them with this attitude of what they gonna tolerate and all this is because she, in some way, she thinks that she's attractive, and what's fueling that is this is all she knows, right? What would make women act a lot better is if they aged like backwards. If it was like Benjamin Button, right? Like remember Benjamin Button? Which that movie was actually more spot on than you would think. Even though Benjamin Button was born old and aged backwards, the dynamic between man and woman was exactly the same. There was no difference in that. All right. The only actual difference was Benjamin Button was born, physically, he was born aged. But okay, if you were to watch, if you were to just to listen to that movie and they cut out all the points with him being aged and just watch how she treated him and all that shit like that, there would be no difference from how women treat men in the world. Go watch Benjamin Button again. Watch Benjamin Button. Of course, like the character, he aged backwards, but in the actual dynamic between the two, how she was a total bitch, a total cunt to him because she figured she was cute and a ballet dancer and all that shit like that, and she had no time for him turn her nose up at him, tell him to leave from the hospital and all that shit, and he was trying to be her friend, and she had better things to do because she young and cute. Like, I mean, yeah, you can blame her treating him like that on the fact that he was, that he had that condition. You can blame that on that if you trying to search for decency in women. But if you look at it logically, like, no, she would have treated him the same way if he'd have been just a regular old dude. You know what I'm saying? There was no difference. There would be no difference in how she treated. He would always be some side shit she toss off until she got old. Then she be, because y'all remember that's because when they finally had sex, Benjamin Button, he said, we're meeting in the middle, right? I think they both were about 30, 35 or something like that. And she was aging, but Brad Pitt was starting to get like sculpted and was looking tighter and all that shit. And she goes, why would you want to have sex with an old woman or something like that? Because she felt ashamed because he looked a lot better than she did. Again, there was no real, like I said, there was no different, like that movie, like it put a focus on his physical condition, but there was no difference in that actual dynamic in real life without that condition at all. You could have just made the movie Randall Cunningham and just had a regular motherfucker play the role, and all this shit would have still been the same. It wouldn't have been any different, how she treated him, how she treated him. It wouldn't have been much difference, My boy is a whole dad. What's up, T-Real? They start life with a game genie, and it gets taken away about 2/3. Yeah, that shit gets taken away 2/3 through a Lion King playthrough on Sega Genesis. That shit they just take away. Could you imagine how upset you'd be, right? Could you imagine how upset you'd be, right? If you were in like a video game tournament and you secretly were given like a fucking game genie to beat the Lion King, and you got to play that game like 2/3 of the way through, and you had a chance to win like $10 billion for beating the game, and 2/3 of the way through, they fucking take away all your cheat codes, and you stuck with just the game. That's a woman's life, dude. That's a woman's life. But here's the thing. But again, the part that fucks up women the most, it's getting dark much earlier now. I just noticed that. It's only 8:42. It's getting dark much earlier outside now. Yeah, fall time's coming. The part that makes it the part that adds more to insult is the fact that, okay, if you was playing it, you was talking shit the whole time you was playing that game with the game, like, yeah, motherfucker, you suck. X, Y, Z, 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 left, right. And you was talking shit. Imagine you was in a gaming tournament, right? You was like a Halo tournament or some shit, and you was talking shit because you had them cheats and ain't nobody else have them. And you was up there talking. You was totally turning your nose up at peasant. And you was just playing the game with all the cheat codes, and then halfway through somebody found out and took them cheat codes, and now you can't win. They be like, no, well, we all human. Why? We all human. I care about the right to vote. We should vote on this. We are all one human species. And now motherfuckers looking at you like, man, shut the fuck up, you fucking piece of shit. Everybody will look at you. That is woman's life, dude. That is woman's life. And see, that's why older women get treated like shit. That's an exact comparison, dude. Like, if you were playing a video game with cheat codes and you was talking shit because you legit thought you was some hot gangster shit because you had the cheat codes and somebody came and took it from you halfway through the game, and then all of a sudden you want to be friends with everybody and all this shit. And we all should be as one, and we all should be peace, and you dive into feminism and all that. Motherfuckers gonna look at you, man, shut the fuck up. You piece of fucking, you was talking shit. I remember when Vegeta was that Android. I can't remember what Android that was. And Vegeta fucked around and beat that android's ass and put fear into him, and they start begging for mercy. That's a woman's life, dude. Like that's their lifespan. And the thing is, they can't help it because they biology. It's the woman condition. They can't help it. You can't be mad at them. It's like it's just what they are. What's up, Elusive, man? What's up, man? Baby cray cray, yeah.
Strictly, you already know. But anyway.
But yeah, again, the only thing that gives her any position in anything is the fact that she got lucky with she temporarily is lucky with biology, with the biology lottery right now, and she's young. That's the only thing giving her any boost in confidence in talking about shit like this.
Yeah. If I don't want anything less than what I'm expecting and I'm putting out into the world and the energy that I'm putting out, I should get no less than that.
We are going to take a look at now. We're going to pick it up where she talks about how she got the name Superhead.
Now, I like that I've been short, but ain't that Superhead, bitch? She up there with Lisa. Well, she looks better than Lisa Ray. I give her that. She held it together a little longer. I guess the Corinne Steffens. That's a Superhead bitch. Now I give her credit. She won a genetic lottery and held that shit together. Oh shit! What just happened? She held that shit together a little longer. Oh god, where was it? It was like 240 something. God, oh my god, just she and that Lisa Ray mentality. Look, the only reason motherfuckers even care about anything about her existence is because people either seen her tits or they want to see her tits, and they know that she's, you know, in some context easy as fuck. Like seriously, like I was gonna do a quick reply video to that. Was that female feline? What's that bitch name? The porn bitch that did a reply video. Like, look, I'm not acknowledging a bitch any longer than my first initial analysis. Unless she can prove to me that she genuinely did something in her life, has an accomplishment in her life that didn't call for somebody's dick getting hard. and make a legit contribution to life outside of, you know, that took anything outside of that.
Where she talks about how she got the name Superhead.
So when I heard this lyric, I remember, and I heard this lyric when I was 21. So when I heard this lyric, I was reminded of the Danish. There used to be a Danish band called Superhead. Oh my god.
Oh, here we go.
So there used to be a Danish band called Superhead, and it's just a word that is used in, like, you know. So when I heard this lyric, I was reminded of superintendent headmaster version of Superhead, and how smart you had to be able to do that. But I was also reminded of how amazing I am sexually, and how it's so dope to be this smart and this good in bed.
See, that's it. Like, you see, that's it. See, like with the heart, like. They genuinely think they're intelligent because somebody wants to fuck them, and they'll tell them whatever they want to hear. You see how pathetic this is? Like, she genuinely thinks she's intelligent.
So here we go with the mental gymnastics already.
Yeah.
Miss Steffens would have us believe that the name Superhead was inspired by some Danish band and something about a headmaster or this or that, and that you had to be really smart to get the title.
She knows that's bullshit.
She wants us to believe that
she knows
she believes that she got the name Superhead because of her brains, that she acquired this nickname because of her intelligence, and then for good measure, throw in her bedroom skills as an afterthought, right? Like, get out of here with this nonsense.
And I just thought, that's like literally me. Like I'm every man's dream. I'm super smart. I make money. I'm really good at what I do in, whether it's in corporate America, in the bedroom, and I can cook I can clean, like I can do all the things.
Yeah.
I just thought like, this is perfect. So we heard the song and it just kind of, and then we just kept repeating it. And it was a new song. It had just come out. And it just happened to be like right after I spent like 5 days locked up in a room with somebody, killing them. And God. It just kind of stuck.
That's attractive. And that, gentlemen, is how she got the name Superhead.
Yeah.
She spent 5 days slobbing some dude's knob.
Yeah.
Gave him that elite level dome, and dude said, yo, this head is super. I'm going to call you Superhead, or something to that effect.
It always meant both things.
No, it did.
To be hype.
How much you want to bet this? How much you want to bet this dingbat Googled Superhead and hope desperately that there was some fucking band or something that she could like say, oh, I thought it was the band. How much you want to bet she Googled that shit and searched and searched? Matter of fact, I've never heard it. I've never even heard. Let's Google. Let me Google this. Are they a famous? How much you want to bet she desperately fucking searched for this shit? Formed in 2000. How much? Because I would guarantee you she didn't know anything about some band Superhead, some because she's trying to sound like she's a fucking intellectual and shit. Like it's fucking pathetic, dude. So it's Superhead. It says country of origin Denmark. Formed in 2004. Well, that was Superhead. She was, if I'm not mistaken, she got that nickname long before the band was formed in 2004 when I graduated high school. And I want to say Superhead was a thing because she was on that it's just a vibrant thing, ding, 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 ding. When that came out long before. Hold on, wait a minute. Am I tripping? Because I give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I was tripping. But the band formed in 2004 based off what I'm seeing right here. The band, what I'm seeing is based in Denmark. So first, I'm looking up Corinne Steffens right now. So it says on Wikipedia. Because like I said, she was in that music video, Vibrant Thing. Right, and that was I remember I was at a babysitter's house watching that music video on BET because we didn't have cable at home, and she was in that video. I'm pretty sure that was her. I'm pretty sure wasn't that her? She was in Hey Poppy in 2000. Maybe was she in Vibrant? I think was that maybe it wasn't her Vibrant Thing. Maybe that wasn't, but she was damn sure in Hey Poppy in 2000. You don't understand the dough, you understand the flow. And let me saying, But no, that. Yeah, C-Boy for like, yeah, she had that name before then. Yeah, I'm pretty, yeah, because the band, I just looked up, what was it? Oh, yeah, Superhead, her fucking nickname. That band, when I found. They saying that shit was formed in 2004, and she had that nickname before 2004. She tried to sound like an intellectual. Because I'm on Metal Archives. You turn off Wi-Fi. Because I bet this stream's probably fucking it up. Here it is, okay. Because I'm curious now. Now she got me thinking about it. Because like she had that nickname before that. The band, like I said, and the band was formed. And so they had the band was Michael Kazier, Robert Oric, Max Otzen, Thomas Castro. And this site says they only had a demo in 2004. But yo, I told you how much you would have bet. She Googled it to try to find if she could spin it in any kind of way to make herself sound more like she's intellectual. As of what I'm seeing right now, that shit ain't adding up. All right, it's just not adding up, Corinne. You trying to sound like you an intellectual. AD, you taking calls during the live stream? Yeah, well, I don't know. Probably not tonight, man. Probably because I got to get through this request video. I'm gonna try to set like one night specifically for live calls. I'm gonna try to do that, like one night specifically for it. Maybe cover like something real quick and then do light calls because I only got an hour left and I talk too fucking much. Let me see. Yeah, I'm typing in Superhead band and. Okay, so this is, oh no, this is a song, Escaper, Superhead. That's the name of the song. It's called Superhead. And this was in 2021, live at Brooklyn Bowl. But yeah, man, like I said, so far, this shit ain't adding up, Superhead. You trying to sound all like you were intellectual because you so intelligent, but you had that nickname before that band even came out. Oh, I thought it was the band. Get the fuck out of here. Because I'm intelligent and smart. Like they it's funny, man. Because like when it comes to like any type of intricate thought, like they want to be genuinely intelligent, but since they never truly had to fight for. They never really truly had to fight for surviving because they can always rely on a pussy at the end of the day type of shit. Like every single woman's complete and total backup plan, if all else fails, is she can open a hole for a man and that'll guarantee her a place to live. Every woman, every single woman, every woman's they don't like to admit it. A lot of them won't. But every woman's ultimate backup plan is they can open a hole. And the fact that they have that, see, privilege makes you weak, and privilege makes you slower and weaker. The fact that woman always has that she can always sell herself just as woman. She doesn't have to do anything else. Just sell herself as the fact that that woman can always do it. They will never be able to keep up with men on a whole. They will never be able to do it because men must think deeper and harder and more strategic to get shit. We have to think much harder because we can't rely on bending over to get our rent paid. We can't rely on just smiling at some guy in a club or smiling somewhere to get free food for the week. We can't rely on that shit where bitches can. That is the exact reason why they will never keep up. The typical woman will never, when it comes to truly surviving in the world and being genuinely intelligent, they just can't keep up with that deeper, intricate thought. They just can't do it, dude. More times. You'll find some anomalies, but they can't do it. They just can't. The song where Jadakiss mentions her was in 2004. And the thing was, see that band, when I looked up the band, they were a band, but they weren't any type of like established band where motherfuckers in Denmark didn't know who they was, and they from Denmark, right? From what I pulled up on them. Let me type in, maybe I'm tripping. Let me type in Superhead band. So it was just the general Superhead band didn't bring up much. So let me type in Denmark. Just to see, maybe they popular. Well, the same website popped up. Yes, I got enough. Motherfuckers in Denmark didn't know who they was. Like I told you, what did I say when she first said it? She desperately Googled to find any way she could spit it to be an intellectual. I'm not seeing anything on it. On the band. Again, maybe I'm Googling it wrong. Because I typed in Superhead band Denmark, and motherfucker, from what I'm seeing, motherfuckers in Denmark don't even know who that band is, all right? And I'm not trying to bash them, because, that's life. That's media. You know what I'm saying? Media is all about luck at some point, and maybe they just didn't get that strike of luck. But, yeah. She's trying to be, I thought it was about the band or the maybe she's being sarcastic. Maybe she's just trying to be funny. I don't know. Maybe she's just trying to be sarcastic and funny or something. I don't know.
Hyper intelligent.
Oh, please.
To be sexually advanced and to be really proud of that.
Corinne, stop.
Like, there's no way I'm going to be upset that why aren't you married? I've been married.
Stop the cap.
When people ask me why I've been like, listen.
Yeah, you've been.
I've been married more times than most women have boyfriends. Like.
Yeah, and no, see, shit like this is what makes women look even worse. But if you look, see. Because they have, see, this is what makes them sound so much worse, right? I mean, she's already just terrible from the start, because she just hurt. But yeah, I've been married more times than girls have boyfriends. Bitch, so you've been married so many times, but none of these men wanted you, or you, who is the... Out of all these men, since you so popular and was married so many times, what do all those men have in common? That none of them could stay around you. So that doesn't make you look any better. But see, in dingbat bitchin' land, in dingbat bitch mentality, see, it's all about how many people she could be with and she could know. See, because they think that makes them sound better. No, bitch, that make you sound worse. You would be more valuable if you found one man and stayed with him. You were still with him. That would make me impressed. Then I'd be like, oh wow, maybe I was wrong about Superhead, who was named after the Denmark band. maybe I would, Corinne, maybe I was wrong about you. You found a man and you was married to him and you stayed with him. That must mean you must be valuable because a man stayed with you. And you were able to sit down and exist as a genuine human with another man. Okay, yeah, that made me go, oh yeah, maybe I was wrong. But no, in dingbat mentality, she thinks that the fact that she's been pumped and dumped so many times legally, that makes her more valuable. No, like that's just adding more fuel to the fire, bitch. That makes you look worse, not better. I need to make AD classes on I need to make classes on telling dumb bitch and I'm gonna put her face on the front of the book and then have me with a school hat, with the graduation hat and pointing at her and a cigarette. like yo bitch, you got to learn what to say. No, that does not make you sound. If you were 16, that'd make you sound cool. At 45, that's not cool. All right, that's pathetic. It's sad. At 45, it's just sad. All right? SW247 says she's the common denominator for being insufferable. Yeah. Yeah, she's the only thing all those men have in common is that they couldn't stay around her. Like I said, she thinks that let's rewind that shit. She genuinely thinks that makes her better. That's how fucked up she is. And like I say all the time, they mentally don't grow past the age of 16, at max 20. But once they figure out they're cute and they can alter their cuteness to get attention from higher up boys, their maturation just comes to a screeching halt. Once they hit that point, let's please.
Why aren't you married? I've been married.
Stop the cap.
When people ask me why I've been, like, listen. I've been married more times than most women have boyfriends. Like, I'm always married. What do you mean? Somebody's always marrying me. I'd be like...
And they're always leaving you after they married you.
Please don't marry me. They'd be like, bitch, we getting married.
No, baby girl. The question was, why aren't you married? As in the present
staying
tense.
Married, yes.
I can please my man, or a man, because he ain't even got to be mine.
Oh, God.
Please myself.
As a hooker, yes. You can please your man as a hooker, but it's clear from your history, from your track record, that you can't please him any more than being a hooker. Because everybody who's come around you left. That's literally what brothels are for. You can please him, to fuck him, and then after that, he has to leave, because if he has to talk to you, he's going to figure out you're fucking repulsive. Okay? You're good eye candy, you probably fuck okay, but then after that, once you have the talk, it goes from lust to disgust. And now you're on camera at 45 trying to brag about how you've been married so many times as if it's a badge of honor. That's a badge of failure, all right? For you. That's nothing but a badge of failure. That's awful. If I had a daughter, I'd be like, shh, don't be telling everybody that. Look, if you was trying to sell yourself, okay, if she was trying to sell, okay, if a smart woman was trying to sell herself, right, to try to get married to a man she really wanted, the last thing she's gonna be like, oh, I've been married more times than girls have boyfriends. No, because she know, look, that ain't right. Something ain't right with you at that point. It's fucking sick.
Because most women don't know how to pleasure themselves, whether they're having sex with themselves or sex with somebody else. Being able to please myself sexually, be pleased with myself sexually.
And it's still sex. It's all about sex. It's never going to come to character, how to exist, how to be a good partner. This is prostitute shit, dude. It's hooker shit.
Be comfortable with myself sexually, but also be...
I don't care about you
like
sexually.
The headmaster.
Corinne, you're not smart enough to be the headmaster at any school. Stop this charade already. Nobody's buying this.
Yeah.
And you guys have probably already picked up on this, but Miss Steffens has quite the potty mouth, which is indicative of a woman who has a super high body count. A 304 tell that few men acknowledge is a woman who swears too much. Now, every woman is going to use light curse words like damn and hell and the occasional B word. But women who drop F-bombs all the time are women who have been ran through.
I can agree with that.
The femininity literally gets smashed out of them. And you will see more proof of this later on in her life.
And the fact that I grew up to be an adjunct professor.
Oh my God.
To be an adjunct professor, to teach at universities across the country, to like, I've proven that I am indeed super at all of it.
At head.
So.
Do we? Okay. Where do I even start? Because she's using this because she knows that the world... See, okay, just like with the Denmark ban, because she knows there's nobody who would probably actually Google it and look at it and compare the times. And then with that adjunct shit. Okay, first, step one, I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on that. I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit. One. Two, I would really love to know what school she was an adjunct at. Who would have hired her? I would love to find out those schools. I would love to ask around and see what schools will hire her. I would love to find out, and love if she was an adjunct professor. I would love to find out what schools those were. I would love to find that out. Yeah, Javi says speaking at university means nothing. Yeah, and here's the thing. I think what she probably means to say was, because she probably doesn't even know the difference. She probably came there as like a speaker, maybe for some entrepreneur class or something like that, for social media or some goofy shit like that. I'm gonna say I'm calling bullshit. I don't think she really knows what an adjunct professor is. I really don't. I don't think she knows what that's essentially a university teacher, essentially speaking. I don't think depending on what college or university you're at and where and how they do it, because some can change a little bit. Some are literally just teachers, and then others are that kind of, what's that, the motherfucker who like grades all the papers and shit like that. So if I remember correctly, but I don't think she really has a clue at all what an adjunct is. Adjunct, I mean, I could go be an adjunct right now. That somewhere will hire me as an adjunct right now, just go teach, some anything, all right? I highly doubt that, one, she even knows what an adjunct professor really means. And two, I highly doubt that she's actually, I highly doubt that she's legitimately gone into a university and taught anything that would require being graded after she got done talking. Okay, I highly doubt that. Highly doubt it.
I'm very proud of that. Because you know what would suck? Speaking of sucking, you know what would suck? To be like mediocre head. Like, what if the whole world was like...
See, and everything she keeps talking about keeps coming back to sex. How come she isn't elaborating on what she was teaching? See, with bitch, why do they never talk about, like, genuine shit that was, like, that genuinely had an impact on the world of what they did without throwing around a title. Like, just what did they do and how did they do it? Did they help people? Did they help, kids or struggling adults? Or how come it's always, and he keeps coming back, well, I thought it meant I was a super headmaster or something. And anyway, how I suck dick was like this. Like bitch, like, you full of shit. You're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're full of cum. Let's correction. You're full of cum.
That's mediocre head. I'd be so fucking embarrassed.
What she's doing here is what Rollo Tomasi calls making her necessity a virtue.
Y'all are so fascinated by the woman who's good at it. Someone says she hates herself, so sad. But I see comments like that, and it just reminds me of how women are shamed.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Just for being sexually open as men are. I got asked a question. I answered the question honestly. But because I didn't cower away from it, because I'm not ashamed of it, then I must hate myself. You'll never be young again. It's over with. Look at this person.
It's true. You're
She's
not lying.
triggered.
First of all, still young.
You're 45.
No, Corinne. You are not young.
Yeah.
Not as far as dating and relationships go. You're young in terms of lifespan. Barring any unforeseen circumstances like, I don't know, a fatal disease or some freak accident, you've got at least another 35, 40 years left. So in that regard, yes, Superhead, you're young.
Yeah.
But we all know a woman's worth is based on two main components. Number one, her beauty, and number two, her ability to retain a man of value in a long-term relationship and or marriage.
I'll never be 20 again, thank God. I'll never be 30 again, thank the God. Because see, and the reason why that bothers some people is because 20, 30-year-old me wasn't this strong.
Oh boy.
She wasn't this sturdy. She wasn't this solid. It doesn't bother me that I'll never be young again. It bothers you that I'll never be young again.
Whoa, wait a minute now. I thought she just said she was still young, but then in the same breath, she says it doesn't bother her that she'll never be young again? Did I hear that right?
First of all, still young. It doesn't bother me that I'll never be young again. First of all, still young. It doesn't bother me that I'll never be young again.
One more
First
time.
of all, still young. It doesn't bother me that I'll never be young again. You'll never be able to treat me and talk to me the way you did before. Because I'll never, ever again disappear when I feel pressure. I'll never get tired of pressure again. Bitch, I'm never gonna
See, the worst thing for her in her position is that she still I'll give her the benefit. She still looks good. That's what's fucking her up the most. Like, if she had just fucked around, just lost it all, then she would have came back down to, oh, yeah, we're human and all that shit like that. But at least it would have been a little more better. The big reason for her total issues is that she knows she's cute, so she can still be a cunt. That's where all this shit's originating from, and that's where the issues come through women throughout that's just the woman disease. It's the disease of being attractive woman. As long as she knows she's still cute and still attractive, she's gonna stay a cunt until she either just loses it all or she gets third-degree burns on her face or something like that. Then she'll be, oh yeah, we're all humans and morals and 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 we should care for everybody and sex isn't everything. What about my personality? And all that shit like that. But she knows she still looks good, so she's never gonna. She's stuck. This is like I said, success. It's never good for women. Success is just never good in any way, unless it's coming purely off that man. Independently speaking, it just destroys women, dude. They end up making fools. Well, the only way they really succeed is just by being hot and fuckable, and that's really it. Okay, and then just sucking the right dick at that point. That's usually, especially women in her area, that's where her success came from. Her success came from is just being a relatively successful hooker. That's when you break it all the way down. When you break it all the way down, that's going to be the core of it. C-Boys for Life says 20-year-old her didn't have 500 rods, maybe 200, but not 500. Yeah.
It bothers you that I'm not gonna be young again. Because a young can get rolled over a lot.
No, they telling you that because they trying to help you, old woman. They trying to help you get off your pedestal, off your mental, before you make too much of a fool out of yourself when you finally age so bad you can't hide it with 10 pounds of makeup and getting your hair straightened to cover it up. People are telling you old. They not telling you old to hurt your feelings. Well, maybe a little bit because you're such a cunt because you know you're still kind of cute. And you're holding on to it, but they're telling you that before you make too much of a fool. Like I said, the world essentially has to come around and save women from self-destruction. And women sit there and try to fight it, and they they try to fight off the help. Whatever, I do what I want. That Cartman shit, whatever, I do what I want. And motherfuckers be like, no, Cartman, don't do that. And Cartman, no, whatever, I do what I want. And it is in the like, and like Cartman at the end of episodes, he makes just a bigger fool out of himself when everybody try to tell him, no, don't do that. But he was Cartman. What did Cartman go? Whatever, I do what I want. That's what Corinne doing. Like, bitch, you old. Accept it. I'm 36. I'm old. I'm getting older now. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready. I'm hitting 40 in 4 years. If I'm lucky, I hit 40 in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I accept it. Age. Accept it. That way you can age gracefully. Well, that's another hard thing for women, is to age gracefully. Women have a hard time aging gracefully. And again, especially when they know especially when they knew they used to be cute and hot, because they don't know how to stop acting like they're 23. Because they've never had to put in any serious thought in anything other than how to apply their eyeliner right to get some guy's attention in a bar. She's never had to put too much thought into anything. No true, genuine thought about life into anything, because she just go out and get validation and just, put thought on the back burner. As long as she gets validation from random dudes again. So it's like, women have a hard time with aging. If she were to just, here's the thing. Again, man, if women were to just go ahead and if women just weren't cunts when they were attractive, the world would be so much nicer to women. And that is the deepest side of it to me, man. That is the deepest. That's the biggest part from my perspective. Is if women were just nicer when they were physically attractive, people would be nicer. But it's the fact that it's just a known thing. If she knows she's hot, there's a good chance she's gonna be a cunt, unless you just happen to fit her thing of what she likes in that 15 minutes. She's going to be mean to you. She's not going to speak to you. She won't even tell you thank you for opening a door or nothing. She's going to be a fucking cunt. And the thing, and like I said, the world would be nicer to women if women were like Benjamin Button. If women started out fucked up and they got more beautiful as they got older, it would be a totally different ballgame. Totally, I would guarantee you people would be much nicer to them. They would understand how to be nicer as they got older and beautiful. That would literally be fucking just like the best. That would be that would be literally like a more of a heaven ending for women. If women age like Benjamin Button, that would fix a lot of shit.
I didn't have the answers that I have now. I didn't have the confidence.
You don't have any answers.
As a 44-year-old woman, Jesus. I will never be young again. Y'all right, I won't.
Damn.
And you're not gonna treat me like I'm young. I'm gonna have to block them. We talking.
Is she talking to the commenter or the dudes who passed her around in her 20s?
You ain't gonna treat me like I'm young again. You'll never talk to me like I'm a little girl ever again in your life. Because I ain't young.
Damn.
And I ain't gonna be young. And we ain't gonna have that kind of interaction.
She's mad.
So you trying to make me feel bad? Because you think that youth is the prize?
Yep.
You dumb nigga. You think youth is the prize? You think being young is the caveat of it?
For you, it was. Being young, that was the prize for you in life. Yes. Yes. Read his comment. Thanks for the donation, Distraction. Thanks a lot, man. AD, have you seen South Park episode where Cartman wants an iPad? Also, what's your favorite episode and favorite character? Oh, my favorite character is Cartman for sure. And yeah, I seen an episode where he won an iPad. And he tried to act like he had one, but his mama wouldn't buy it for him. So she wanted to buy him like, you know, some off-brand shit. Because, you know, because she was low on money. But my favorite South Park, well, of course, Cartman. I used to really like Stan's dad, but Stan's dad was funny before they found out he was funny. Then it just like, to me, it just like he lost a lot of his appeal because it was like he was funny when they didn't know he was funny. With that episode, you got it. Girl, what you got is it. When he slams his head into that glass, he goes, no. I used to like Stan's dad before they found out he was funny. But Cartman, I like Cartman. Cartman's by far my favorite episode. For some reason, one of my favorite episodes was when Cartman wanted to make he wanted to beat Stan and Kyle to selling $1 million. He wanted to get a platinum record. That's what it was, and and he made that Christian band. And then they found out that, oh yeah, in Christian music they don't get platinum, they get myrrh and shit. And Cartman flipped out. That was one of my favorite episodes. It's so many of them, man. I did the dog whisperer one, where he ate the nanny one, where he spit in the nanny's face. That was another favorite. Pretty much anyone that had Cartman in it is my favorite. That had Cartman as the main Awesome-O. That was funny. The one where there was one where I can't remember what happened. Oh, when Cartman thought he died, and Butters could see because they wanted to ignore him. I forget what Cartman did, but they wanted to ignore him because he did. He ate the Kentucky Fried Chicken. He ate the skin off the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they got so mad at Cartman they ignored him. And so like everybody does it. So Cartman thought he was dead, and then Butters could see him. But was that the episode where Cartman like he like tried to like walk sideways and he was like butt naked? Because I think that was the same where something happened where Cartman was like he was walking naked on stage and he's like did this like sideways walk to get on stage. But Cartman for sure, he's my favorite hands down, easily. Hands down. I like Butters too. I think Butters is kind of funny, but the Cartman, it's the Cartman show for me. If Cartman ain't in the episode, I don't even want to watch it. But no, where we at with Corinne? Yeah, thanks for the donation again. Appreciate it, man.
Because you think that youth is the prize?
Yep.
You dumb nigga. You think youth is the prize?
Yes, for you, for a woman, youth is the prize. For that's it. Back to Corinne. Back to Superhead, named after the Denmark band. Named after the Denmark band. Fucking idiot. Named after the Denmark. Oh, I thought it was a Denmark band because I'm so intelligent. Yeah, youth is the prize for a woman. Yeah, of course, yes. Because here's the thing. Yeah, a youthful woman, all she gotta do is be 20, and she ought to. And if she's a certain physical attraction, physically attractive, if she's a certain level of being physically attractive, she'll marry a billionaire quick. Just because she'll at least get on a yacht just because she's 20. You know what I mean? Like, that's all it takes. So yes, for a woman, youth, Corinne, this is directly aimed at you. Youth is the prize for you. Yes. You can call me stupid, call me anything, pull up any scientific fact that will prove otherwise. Because since you're so intelligent and you an adjunct professor, well, go to universities where you was an adjunct professor at, and ask them and ask around. Since you got so much money, pay somebody to conduct a study on what ages of women are seen as the prize. And I bet you ain't gonna find 45. I bet you that shit. You gonna be mad at? What would you? Hey, guess what? She's gonna go to universities and be talking like this to them when she find out the truth. Like, what, you dumb motherfucker? You thought youth is the prize? She gonna do this to them. I agree. Yes, she was a groupie at best. Yeah. She was a groupie that was sucking dick and fucked around and ended up in a couple videos just because because she's a woman and she was skinny and she's not she's a good looking woman. I'll give her that. But she was a dick sucking groupie. That's all she was.
Guys, you think being young is the caveat of this?
Yes.
Oh boy. Now her dumb is starting to show. Now, she used the term double entendre correctly because she probably Googled it. But, Corinne, caveat means a condition or a catch. Caveat doesn't mean the end-all be-all, which is what you were trying to say.
You think that 44 years old, this?
Oh, bitch, please. Get out of here.
That I want to be young again?
Yes, you do. Yes, you want to be. That's why you're stacking on 20 pounds of makeup, because you want to be young again. Yes, you still look good, and I think that's your fucking problem, is because you still look good, so you don't have to come off that high horse yet until somebody brings up something you can't hide with makeup, like your age. Then you can. That's the trigger. But yes, you're old. You're 45. You too old to be doing this shit. You too old. So what's next? When you 55, you gonna be walking around? Well, look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like Patrice O'Neal said, look, I'll eat some stale crackers, but I want them right now. Don't be trying to dress them up and all that shit. Now you're just embarrassing yourself. You come in, you know what I'm saying? Imagine going to a 5-star restaurant and walking in there with some stale ass bread, trying to dress it up. You should want to pay $20 for this bread. Motherfuckers gonna look at you like, man, get the fuck out of here, right? Motherfuckers gonna look at you, man, you must be fucking stupid. I don't care how good the bread look. That bread is stale. It is hard. That motherfucker chipped my tooth and want $20 for that bread. Get the fuck out of here. You old. Accept it, Corinne. But you see, there's so many other dynamics that go into it. Because like I said, a lot of men have issues with aging too. But it's especially a woman who used to be attractive. Well, no, okay, correction. She's still attractive, but a woman who used to be attractive and by luck, biological lottery, and I'm willing to bet either a lot of working out and energy drinks or surgery, she was able to keep the body up, to look decent. She's gonna be a cunt. She's just gonna be a bitch about it. She's not gonna have any decency. She's not gonna be a decent human.
Stupid again? That gullible again? That hurt and traumatized again? That I want to be reeling from my developmental traumas again? Not understanding myself again? Not knowing myself?
That's exactly why you're doing everything you physically can to still appear as young as possible. You may not want to be mentally still in that, and you may not want to mentally be that person, but you physically want to be 20 again. You want to be 20. That's the whole reason why you stacking on 10 pounds of makeup and trying to dress provocatively and still bring up how you used to suck dick and how you even got your name for sucking dick. That's why you still focus on that part of your life, because that was the highlight of your life. And every day that passes is one more day further away from it, and one day closer to you not being able to even put on makeup to hide it anymore. You want to be 20 years old again. You may not want to mentally go through, bullshit you went through when you was 20 again, but you can't say you don't want that 20-year-old body again.
Again, not loving myself again. You think I want to be young again so that you can talk to me any way you want to, and I don't know what my comeback is gonna be. I can't stand 10 toes down and truth again.
Is this a rap battle?
You think?
Oh my God.
That's what you think?
This is corny.
Where you at?
This is sad.
What, you gonna fight somebody now, Corinne?
Where you at?
Sad.
You gonna fight somebody?
This is sad.
Stupid hoe.
Say something.
This is sad. She's sad.
I'm afraid. I don't want to say nothing.
This is sad.
I was there. Shut your stupid ass the up. That's your comeback, you dumb bitch. That's your comeback.
Jesus.
That's your comeback. That's
This is
it.
sad.
I was there.
You
was
45, bitch. So in 10 years, you're going to be 55, and she's still going to be up there. So I'm 55. I'll look good. Bitch, you old. Accept it. In 5 years, you're going to be 50, you old bitch. You old. All right. Just gracefully accept it and move. But you can't, because your whole life was based off of sucking dick when you was 20. You know what I'm saying? Your whole life. See, that's why this is a trigger, and that's why she doesn't want to grow. She doesn't want That's why it's a trigger. That's why she's mad, because every day she's getting closer to not being able to trick you into thinking she might be in her mid-20s again. That's why it's a trigger. In 5 years, this bitch gonna be 50. Would you gonna get mad every time? Would you be mad every time somebody say happy birthday when you turn 50 and had the same reaction? You old as hell, bitches. Accept it. Move on.
We was all there, bitch.
Back
What
in
else
the
you
B-boy
got?
stance.
Say something else too. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Cause I'm hyper today. Let's do it.
I was in school, and the little library room was kind of shut off. No one went in there because who the fuck goes to the library, you know? The whole basketball team.
Did you get trained by a basketball team?
Yeah.
How many guys?
11.
11 guys.
Not the whole team or anything, but just
That's the whole.
Y'all, I'm tired. I no longer want to be an independent woman. Forget that INDE.
word?
I want to be a housewife.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
the next man that has good credit, a stable home, finances is straight,
Yeah.
baby, I'm marrying you. Yes, sir, I am.
I would say this is at least 80% of all women's mentality. They want to work. They want that equality until it starts to set in. You know what I'm saying? To it's not all fun and games, and they actually get a little tired. Where my Tide bottle? When they start getting a little tired, I gotta go to work again. I gotta think about how I'm gonna get money again. Ooh, girl, this is rough. You know what? Being a housewife, that ain't that bad. Having men go out and do everything, or we just sit at home and just be chilling, that don't really sound that bad. See, they be wanting, like when they're younger, it's just that it's being a child, man. When you're younger, it's cool to have your own money and go out there and work, but as that time adds up and getting tired adds up, you ain't trying to do that like that too much longer. This is at least 80% of all women's true thoughts. Now, most women won't be courageous enough to just say it flat out like that, but this is every woman's true thought. Well, as I say, at least 80%.
I'm not an alpha female no more. I've learned my lesson. Baby, I will be submissive to you. Baby, I will cook for you. I will clean for you. Yes, daddy, whatever you need. You want sex when you want it? Yes, sir, you got it. Baby, you want a meal at 3 o'clock in the morning? Yes, sir, you got it. Take care of me. Because this working 2 jobs, although I love being a registered nurse, I love my profession. Let me just work as needed. Let me work when I want to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's about her. Guys,
That equality.
We got a chameleon on our hands, all right? They're giving up being independent because
they want to be in. Yeah, see, like I say all the time, they like to mimic men. Because I say it all because they don't have true, genuine character to survive in the world with. So they don't really. They don't know what's valuable. They don't know. They don't know. You know. They don't have any genuine, true, genuine thoughts that are socially acceptable. So what they do, they just imitate men as long as they can and as comfortable as they can until it gets too uncomfortable. Then they done with it. Yeah, see that equality set in. That equal left came in, and you working and you tired, and there's no end in sight. That equality fucked around and set in. See all that equality them feminists fought for? Yeah. It happened. There you go. See that equality? Yeah, see equality's key. See, it's fun when it's cute. It's fun when you can just do it when you want to do it, how you want to do it. Well, how she just said, work when I want to work. Yeah, see, equality's fun when you can do it when you want to, when you can have equality when you want to have it. It's fun. But see, when you have equality when you don't want it, yeah, yucky. We don't want that.
They see that wall coming near, so all of a sudden now they want to get off the carousel, the pogo sticks. And now I want to cook, I want to clean, I want to give you what you want. The next man that comes around.
Yeah.
I'm going to marry you. No, you have no decision in that, chameleon.
The men are probably going to tear me up for this message, but I don't care because I'm coming from my...
I tell you, for that awful makeup and hair shit, bitch, you look like a fuck. Oh, and I never make fun of people for their physical appearances. But oof. You need to just put a mask. I don't even look. A COVID mask wouldn't even help. That makeup looks terrible. It should look like she just. It looked like she went into the closet and just grabbed a bunch of caramel syrup and just wiped it all over her face, and then grabbed a marker and just went. That shit looks awful, man. I would not want to kiss her face. Like there. No, I would. I would not want to kiss her. Like, I know if I were to kiss her face, I would just have brown makeup, like I would like Homer Simpson. Like if I were to kiss her face, I had that Homer Simpson. That shit looks awful. And I never roast bitches for their makeup, but that looks terrible. I just had to say that. That looks awful. Something about that shit just is not working out right at all. Y'all want to know who I thought looked good, real good with that makeup? What's that girl name? What's that bitch name? Keira Knightley. I like her. She did Pirates of the Caribbean. The makeup I seen her having that they did her makeup right. That shit, like, that made her go from a fucking 6 to a 9. How they did her makeup in that movie, in the scene that I'm thinking of. But this shit looks awful. Now, she does just have the benefit of just being a woman, so, like, that's always going to, give her some sense of some level of attractiveness just by default, okay? But if you actually look at that, like, no, that shit looks awful. That makeup looks terrible. Like, she needed to just take that shit. A COVID mask wouldn't even help that shit. Y'all know them COVID masks was hiding a lot of the face, so all you can see is bitch's eyes. You're like, oh, that bitch look good, because you just see her eyes. That looks terrible. Like I said, she already has the benefit just because she's just a woman. So she can just get that sense of attractiveness out. But no, that makeup, that's terrible. Whoever did that makeup, they need to get, well, she probably did it herself. That looks terrible. And then the hair just doesn't look right. Like, it looks like a wig. Well, it looks like it's real, but it looks like real, but it looks like a wig to me. It's probably extensions. It looks off. Just nothing about that looks good. That's a fail. Just a selfie like that is a fail. That's terrible.
My 6th closing of an independent woman investing in real estate by herself, and I'm inspired and I want to inspire others.
Okay.
Look, we live in a world where a man tells us that they're the prize now, that they're high value, and that nobody wants a strong-willed, strong-minded, successful, independent woman. We get it. It's all over the internet. My ladies, because being a woman that is one, I've dated rich men that feel like they can treat you any type of way, but my standards don't allow it, so they go to women that can. I've dated the men that make less than me. And
translation, you can't keep a man.
Because they feel inadequate, and they don't know how to communicate their feelings. I've had friends that attach themselves to me because of simply for what I can do for them. And then when my well is ran dry, they disappear. It's a hard world. It's a hard nut life for us. But I guarantee you, when I go home to the house that I own, when I'm driving the car I wanted to drive, when I'm living the life that I want to live, when I get on my knees and I pray to the God that loves me so much and is so faithful, none of that noise matters.
And then you cry yourself to sleep every night, wondering why God. And you cry yourself. Let's rewind her steps when she goes home. After all that, she cries herself to sleep over a glass of wine.
It's a hard nut life for us. But I guarantee you, when I go home to the house that I own, when I'm driving the car I wanted to drive, when I'm living the life that I want to live, when I get on my knees and I pray to the God that loves me so much and is so faithful, none of that noise matters.
Yeah, and you know what? Ayo, and I'm going to be real about this shit. And this is like, it's lightweight personal for me. I had an aunt who was just like that. She was the same way. Beautiful woman. Well, she could do her makeup never looked that bad though. Mine's made the makeup. I've never seen her in makeup. Well, mine really didn't. She didn't even need makeup. But when she did put on makeup, she knew what she was doing. Oh, that makeup needs to go from this woman in the blue. But I had an aunt who was exactly the same way. Beautiful woman, man. Beautiful, and she had her own house paid for. All the furniture in there was like her house. I mean, because my dad went up there to clean out her house after she died, and he said, yeah, it was like a museum in there. It was a museum, like immaculate shit. Everything in there was immaculate, and she was an organizer, so everything in there was every creek and crease, how do you say, crease and crevice, every fucking corner of the fucking house. And it was a 3-story house with a basement. Because I remember, because the upstairs, it definitely wasn't an attic, but it was like a kind of like a middle of an attic and like a room. It was like it was finished, right? But so it was so finished you would just call it a 3rd floor type of thing, and it was immaculate. It was she had a Lexus truck, and I forget the car she had, but all this shit was paid off. Beautiful. I mean, because this was back before I even knew they had like designer refrigerators and shit like that. Like, yo, did you know that they had like designer refrigerators and microwaves and shit like that? Because I didn't. And she had all, and it all was paid off, man. Because those old MacBooks I had were hers. She had all Apple shit back then. She had the iPad, iPhone, MacBook Air, because it was different back then. She had all this shit, and she had her clothes, everything. She was just like her, and also just like her, she couldn't keep a man. She went home alone every night. It's that woman condition. Success destroys them, man. They don't do well with success. And when they do find a man, and you know what? And my aunt, she had the same. And now nobody in my family even knew this. I'm gonna tell y'all this, because y'all don't even know her, and she's dead anyway, so she can't even be mad about it. And okay, because we used to talk. I stay in contact with people of all age groups, all walks of life, right? So we used to talk, and I remember she was dating a guy who, and I mean, all this is basic manosphere logic, but this was real shit, and I'm so not lying. She was dating a guy, she really liked the guy. I won't say dating. She really liked the guy, and she was talking to him, and he was some high-ranking dude at Wright Pat Air Force Base, right? And she was probably about in her late 40s at this point. And we would talk for hours, right? And she would tell me all about him. And she said, yeah, he has a beautiful house and all this. And she was wanting, because like all women, they want a man who is better than them. And she wanted him. And she was like, she wanted him. And she said, but he just doesn't call me back. I always have to call him, and something like she's seen him with another woman that was beautiful and all this, and I didn't tell her, but like I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, because you're old. Like by the time a man is appealing to a woman like her, he's gonna have, again, like I said with Onyx, by the time a man is making 1/10 of what Onyx makes, he's gonna have access to all the women beneath him. All the women. Okay, so by the time a man is doing better than her, how she says she's dated rich men and they never talk to her, right? They're not going to. Okay, because you're just another fucking fish in the fucking ocean to them. Because, like I said in my older video, see, when a man, let's say a man earns $50,000 a year. Well, that man now has some sexual access to all the women, I'd say, who make around $40,000 a year and beneath him. That's his realm, and all the women beneath him, at some sense or some level, he has that. That's his realm, and it just goes up from there, right? Whereas women, no matter how much she's making, she's always going to look up, right? So all the men beneath the women are ignored, and the woman's going up. And here's the thing, again, it works when, back to Superhead, named after the Denmark band, when she's 20, that logic works for them. But the older they get and the better they get, the smaller the pool of men get that are higher, the smaller it gets. And that's why I say success destroys women. The more money she's going to make, the better she's going to look, the longer, like Superhead, named after the immensely popular Denmark band, Superhead. the higher she goes, the smaller that pool of men is going to get. Because any man beneath her is worthless. They will die looking up. Yeah, elusive man. Yeah, they die looking up, and they can't help it. And back to Superhead, by the way, who was named after a famous band from Denmark. She don't think so. Well, I'll leave her alone. Well, she really ain't worth it, honestly.
Being successful, if being strong-willed, if being strong-minded is something that you want to be, if that's a character trait that you want, you do it. You go get it. It is well worth it. And it doesn't dictate the type of mother or wife you will be in the future. The right friends.
Well, you're not going to be a mother or wife in the future. You not. You don't even worry about that because you're not going to do that. That's a mother. Okay, maybe a mother. You get pumped and dumped real quick. But becoming a wife, well, you ain't going to never do that. So I don't even know why you brought that up. There's a very low chance you're going to find that. Crispy Bacon says, my sister makes $200K. She got mad when I told her to stop looking for men that make any amount similar to her. To just find any man that will genuinely love her, that has a decent career. Yeah, Crispy, but yeah, see that is, see, Crispy Bacon, what you described to her is what women hate. Is you exposed her to you exposed her to the thought of just becoming a decent human. And that's what women don't like. They don't like that shit. You exposed her to the idea of being a decent human. Don't like that. Yeah, 200K. That's a rough world, Crispy Bacon, for a woman. That's a good world for a man, but that's a rough world for a woman. That's a rough world. It's that woman condition. It's that woman condition. That's a rough world for a woman. Oh, like I said, a woman is better off making no money. And the reality of the whole situation, as far as like being, as far as coming to her senses and all that shit like that, a woman is better off being more like legitimately average, like, not making a lot of money, not being overly attractive or anything like that, because that's gonna humble her. You know what I mean? Like, that's gonna be what's gonna humble her, and then she's gonna figure out how to be, at least find some way to cling to being a decent human. Well, nowadays with Instagram and Tinder, women's egos just get stroked off that shit. So yeah, that's even coming to an end now. Through OnlyFans and all that silly shit. Well, that's just destroying that theory. So all I can say for the younger generation is good luck, because it's not looking good for y'all, for the younger people. I'm gonna stop this video. I'm gonna stop this video there. I'm gonna just catch them on the comments. I'm gonna get out of here. Being a decent human is kryptonite. Oh yeah, for a woman, yeah, for sure, yeah. Rana says, "What's up, Rana? Yeah, thanks for tuning in, man." Nicki Minaj is dating a guy who did some crime in her past, but passed up on some good black men. I'm assuming black men are her preference. Word. Oh yeah. Had a kid with as well. Oh, with the guy. Yeah, I think I heard about that guy. Chrissy Bacon says, the problem with that is she doesn't even like the men in her job. She's an engineer. She wants a rich Chad. I told her those guys only want models and... Yeah. It's that... Yeah, man. Because then it's that thing. Okay, let's say Crispy Bacon... Okay, like her, like my aunt. Like let's it's the brutal reality. Like with your was it sister or like my aunt? Well, she died and she's not alive anymore because she had got like horrible breast cancer. Like just wiped her out hard. Well, she lived with it for a while though. To be fair, she stayed alive for a long time. But it took her out. Like some people get breast cancer and they fine, and like my other aunt, she had breast cancer and she's fine with it. But the other one, the younger one, she died. The one who did all that. But but the brutal reality is, okay, like let's use my aunt for example, and like your sister. Let's say if they did get that, if she's 45 and 50 years old, let's say 45, 50, 60, let's say if Corinne Steffens does go out there and she does fuck around and land a rich Chad and Tyrone, well, she's just going to face even more hardships for multiple reasons. One, well, like in Benjamin Button. Remember when Benjamin Button finally fucked that bitch who's treating him like shit? And she immediately was like appalled that Brad Pitt even wanted to fuck her because she was old now. You see, if Corinne Stevens even goes out there and gets a Chad or a Tyrone, whatever the fuck, and the Chad, she's gonna know that she's too old for that lifestyle, because that man should be getting with a better woman than her, right? So let's say your sister or let's say these women go out there and they do fuck around and find a Chad or Tyrone who wants to be with them. Well, now she's gonna have to now fight off all these other women throwing themselves at him because he's, the alpha guy, right? But on top of that, okay, like with my aunt, she was in her late 40s. So she's in her late 40s trying to, it's just the fucked up. But on the back end, the woman can't let it go because she has to measure her value based off of everything around her that's given her validation. So she can't let it go. So she'll find herself even deeper in just misery. Simon Lewis says, as a Gen Zer, I gotta say we're doomed. Simon, I feel sorry for the younger dudes, man. Cause like I said, I said a long time ago, back when I was, in my early 20s, like you knew you can go out and pull a 6 real quick. You always knew you can do that. Back then, when I was in my teens, I was in high school, you always knew you can pull a solid 5 or a 6 with not much effort. After the online dating and all this shit took off, them 5 and 6s got their heads hyped, thinking they fucking, I don't even know what's that bitch, Bella Porch? Is that that bitch name? Bella Roach? What's that bitch name? Is it, this ain't Bill the bitch? Which I like that song though. And I like the video. I thought it was kind of cool. But yeah, you got 5 and 6s thinking they hot now, and especially in America because they got their heads hyped from Tinder, and some guy trying to pay to take them out, and then before they got that validation back in the early 2000s, the bitches wasn't getting that validation like that, so they was willing to them 5s and 6s was willing to compromise and be decent. Nowadays, with Tinder, every guy's just gonna swipe right on Tinder. Most guys, they ain't even gonna look, just swipe right and just see what they left with after all of it, So they gonna be competing over her, 5 or 6 level quality woman, and now she thinks she's fucking, the belle of the ball now. So yeah, all I gotta say for you guys is good luck, man, because unless there's a huge social shift that happens, it's just not looking good at all for you guys. And I hate to be like the depressing about it, but it's just not. There has to be some type of just major social shift. Maybe like if all guys just like all of a sudden just stopped, just quit. That would do it, but that's going to be hard to do because somebody's just going to get horny after a time and just say fuck it and just go do it again, try it again. And that's essentially what keeps women in business. Is that over time, guys are just going to get horny and say, fuck it, and just try something one time. Like, if it wasn't for, like, if all men took fucking, like, I don't know, the blockers from getting horny and shit, if all men would just gang together and take that shit and do it for, like, 6 months, bitches would start folding like clockwork. C-Boy for Life says, just travel, leave. You might be a 5 here and a 10 somewhere else. Oh, yeah, for sure, C-Boy for Life. Yeah. For sure, yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing, like, so many American, like, including myself, dude, so many American men have just, like you just, especially if you're in the U.S., dude, because that's where I can speak on, because that's where I grew up. Men, it's common for men to just not think they're desirable on any level or worth much because women just have so many options. They just don't care to, be decent at all. So like, I led myself, like, I didn't even think I was desirable. Like I told you guys, when I first left and went to Argentina, that was the first time I didn't know on Tinder, you could, like, if you got so many matches, you can scroll down to look at them. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that was even in the programming to scroll on Tinder. When you know what I'm saying? So I went to Argentina. And I remember when I first came here, now, because, okay, so here's the story, because I'm gonna let y'all go in like 5 minutes, and thank everybody for watching too, appreciate it. With the guy I told y'all, I hung out. He was from okay. When I first came here, I came here with a group of people. Some were from America, some were from other places, and and one guy we still talk. He plays like Nintendo Switch now. We're still cool. He went to Germany pretty much as soon as we finished at that school. He just left and went to Germany, and I stayed in Czech Republic. And when we first came here, we were like comparing Tinders. Now, his Tinder, like all the other guys' Tinders, theirs took off way quicker than mine. Like for some reason, mine, like maybe I got pushed to the bottom of the list. I don't know what happened, but everybody else's Tinder was like popping off like the first week. And we was like comparing our Tinders, and they had like matches out the fucking ass, and I had like no matches for maybe it took about a week and a half to 2 weeks. And then after that, I think maybe my profile just got pushed to the bottom. But then after that week, or a week and a half to 2 weeks, then mine took off. Then I had like any dating app. I just had like, you know, women, they'll initiate with you, like, because they see that American. So now you're, you know, like I said, in America you Clark Kent, but over here you fuck around and be Superman. You know what I'm saying? Because you foreign, for one, you know. And then you from a foreign country that has, you know, more money than them. So it's like, you know, and women, they always on the outlook for men, you know, with more money. They always, they be trying to say they're not, but they always are. They feelers are always open for men with more money. That's just part of the game. They can't help it. It's in their programming. But yeah, no, my Tinder took off. And that's when I met my ex-wife on there. Because we hung out. And then, yeah, and then I figured, you know, I think I could do this. I think I could stay here. So we talk about, so we tried every other visa form possible, and none of them was working with the tourist visa. Because the tourist visa you get from the U.S., you get 90 days. And none of the visas, the time limit that I would get a visa was working with how much time I had left. So that's why we decided to get married, because I wanted to stay in the country. And then we tried to make it work, and it just didn't work. But yeah. What if America legalized prostitution? Would they catch up to women in some... Okay, here's the thing, John. If America were to legalize, they would have to be strict with it. But even then, women would find a way to work the system. Because here's the thing... That would be too much of a shock for American women, right? And all they would do is, if they were legalized prostitution in America, all they would start to do is just start to postpone a guy for another guy who's paying more and shit like that, right? Because again, sex has been made such this prize and taboo at the same time that women are essentially monopolized. That I think honestly right now it would be too much of a shock, but I think it would help. But if they were to do it, they would have to do it like how they do it here. Like I said, the friend of mine who works in there, he told me how the whole shit worked. He was a manager in there. He told me how the whole thing works. So like in there, how it works is every girl, they pay about $200 a night for a room, and they want to make that money back. So they don't have to pay like their pimp or anything like that. They don't pay anybody a percentage of whatever they make. How it works is they pay roughly $200 for that room for the night, and then they can leave whenever they want after that. Like they could just leave right away and just not make any money. But they don't, you want to make your money back. So they gotta fuck to make that money back, and then whatever money, on top of it, they just keep all that money. And on top of that, they got dudes, some simp dudes coming there bringing them McDonald's and shit like that, and buying them jewelry because they're fucking stupid, But the thing is, all the girls in there have to, like, they are not allowed to ask for more money at all, right? They're not allowed. Now they can take more money, like for like a fetish or something like that. If the guy like proposes it, they can take an extra, you know, $50, $100, $200, whatever. They can do that. But the culture and mentality, they're not gonna do that. And if it's found out that one of the girls did that, like postpone the guy for another guy and all that shit like that, if it's found out that a girl did that, you can go tell on them and they get in trouble for that. See, like it's a whole different, and it could see, and they'll get, and see, they get in trouble for it because again, it's not like America where like women are always right and they just worship women and wipe women's fucking asshole just because they're women type of shit. Like women are more held accountable as a human, just as men are in most cases, right? So it works here. Whereas in America, I'd say even if they were to legalize prostitution, I think honestly what would happen would be women it would snowball into the same situation now. It would snowball to the same OnlyFans. It would just take a different route, but I think it would help. But I think in the end it would just it would be like throwing a frog into a boiling pot of water. Like so it's just saying, I don't know if you guys know it. I'm gonna speak kind of in circles. I gotta get off at 10 o'clock. I'm trying to hurry up. So there's a saying in America, like, how do you kill a frog? Well, how do you cook a frog? Cook a live frog, right? You don't throw a live frog into boiling water because, you know, in this theory, it'll just jump right back out, right? How do you conquer a frog by, like, killing him by boiling a frog that's alive? You got to put the frog in room temperature water and then slowly turn the heat up. So by the time it's too hot, the frog don't know what to do, and you know what I'm saying, and he's just out of his mind because yeah. See, it's 10, man. I'm gonna read a couple more comments. I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, but qualities and rates for women would complex things, competition in the market levels, costs. Yeah, it's because that's the thing over here. Like if a woman's like more attractive or less attractive, they can't charge more over here, right? Like every girl is the same price, and they hold by. Like I said, the friend of mine, like he wants it. Matter of fact, because he was totally down to do a video, but we just can't match up on times. And he lives at where I used to live in Chescalipa, because because I asked him like, would he feel comfortable, doing on a camera? He said, yeah, I'm fine with it, He's totally down for it. Well, we got to just match up on times, to, and also when his English is good, because sometimes I understand, sometimes his English is great, sometimes it's not so great. So hopefully we get it on a day when his English is good, But yeah, so it's not that theory of like, of like regular prostitutes where like if she's hot, she can charge, like $10,000, where if she's not, she'll charge like for like in the brothels, all the women have a set rate. They can't ask for more money. It's a set rate for all women. Yeah, Mo, yeah. It's a flat rate. Yeah, so yeah, it's a flat rate for no matter how attractive she is, old or young, whatever the fuck like that. It's a flat rate. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I gotta try to get him on. Like he's an hour and a half away, and he's got 2 kids and a wife, man. So like, and he's an hour and a half away. But he comes to Prague because he has a son that lives on the other side of Prague. So when he comes down to visit his son, we always kind of meet up on his way back. Because I've met his son. His son's like 16. Real good dude. Real good boy, man. Real good guy. I don't say boy, he's 16. Real good guy. Because as a matter of fact, they came over one. It was him, his son, and his brother-in-law. They came over because they wanted to see the view, and I put the telescope out there, and they hung up the because I didn't have a drill at the time, so they went in there and drilled the shower curtain up. Yeah, it's a flat rate, which Redpill's men. The hottest girls cost the same as the one that's not pretty. Yeah. See, I don't know anything about, because I heard, Dark Rebel, you got a lot of experience in Germany. I don't have a lot of experience in Germany, but I'm sure it's probably the same theory there too. I'm sure you can find areas where different women will charge more, but from what I hear, it's always like a set rate. It's not like this one's, this one was a porn star, so she can charge, like $800, and this one is just like a kind of cute girl that works in a mall, so she can only charge like $50. All of them are the same rate. Even when porn, because I think it's, yeah, even like porn, like, well, that's the thing. porn stars in America, that's what they do a lot of times. A lot of porn stars in America, what they do is they'll shoot films. Like a lot of films are shot over here somewhere. Or they'll shoot them in America, but a lot of times they'll come over here and just work in brothels. They'll just come over here and work in brothels in off times, just to get side money, whatever the fuck, or they're webcam. But a lot of them, they'll, catch a $1,500 flight, fly back over here, and pay, $700 for rent a month, and work in a brothel, be a guest star at a brothel, for a week or two or something like that. And then, or get on and also they'll get on these brothel, matter of fact, there was a woman in Chescalipa. I remember, I'm going to let y'all go after this story. I remember, I can't remember her name. Oh, she has a very common name, but I don't want to say her name. But it is a very common, you would never find her because it's a super common Czech name. But I remember, because we would always hang out at a bar with a friend of mine. We're all pretty much like family now. Like if anything happens, we immediately are there for each other kind of thing. And even if we don't like each other, because I don't like his girlfriend, a friend of mine's girlfriend, and she know it. I didn't make that shit secret. I think she's a hussy, and they know it. But we still cool though. I'm still cool with her because she's cool with him, and it's that family thing. But the woman, I remember she pulled me to the side one day, and we started talking about, because she used to be one of those girls who was on the brothel circuit. She was on the brothel circuit. Because I didn't know there was a circuit of it, They put the girls on a circuit and just, send them through different European countries and the brothels, in the capital cities. And she told me, how she got into it, because she hated school. And like a woman who reaches her prime at an earlier age just because she's a woman, she showed me pictures when she was younger. I think she was sitting at a kitchen table with her and her dad. And her dad did not want her to drop out of high school, and she just didn't care. And she dropped out of high school, and of course, what's woman's backup plan to survive? The fuck. And that's what she did. And she was a good looking woman when she was, younger. So she got on a circuit, and she told me about the guys she knew. And she told me how they were all gay, and she was lucky to not get diseases because they was all just doing everything. And she showed me all the pictures of the guys and her with the guys, and in the fucking because this was because she's old now. This is fucking 30 years ago. So she had the fucking fur fucking shit standing, with her tits out and smiling in front of with the guy standing next to her in a leather jacket. She showed me all the pictures, and she told me, she said nobody in the town likes me. Nobody here in Chescalipa likes me because they know I used to do that. And like I said before, see that hooker shit, over here, in America, bitches are almost women have manipulated the system so hard to where motherfuckers, they'll shame you into looking up to bitches for being hookers. Where over here, it's the opposite, dude. When you can look in there and you see a woman at least in Prague, where you see a woman who's just completely overdone, just total, for example, this woman right here would get that response over here. You would think she's a hooker. Like a legit straight hooker over here, because the makeup's just too overdone. The hair's just it's just too loud. It's too overdone, Over here, you would immediately call that hooker shit, right? And she's not going to be worshipped or treated, nicer or better, like she's beautiful and all that. She's not going to get that same reaction over here. Whereas in America, or I would even say the UK, women are so fat and pathetic to where by the time a woman put that much effort in, it's oh my God, she's a goddess, because you don't see many women who are just physically attractive, in America like that. And from my time in Scotland, it was the same thing in Scotland. You just don't see that many. So by the time they put any kind of effort in, the people are just oh my God, you're so beautiful. Whereas out here in Prague, well, you got beautiful bitches all the time that's not doing that level of makeup, right? So by the time she went above and beyond, she must be hooking. By the time she's just that loud with it, she's trying to get attention to stand out. Thanks, Michael Johnson. You're the best, AD. Glad you're still here. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. A lot of German brothels have restaurants, and yeah, I've heard about that. The show park have food. Yeah, they do have food. Yeah, because he said the food's awful. And the beers are American prices. Yeah, they do, but it's awful. But I've heard Germany has great, like legit cooks that grill the food. I've heard that. I've never been. Well, I went to one in Germany, but I've never been to like what they call like the GGG or something like that. Where like you can just go for like a whole day and just hang out, and the girls walk around and you just wear a towel. I've heard stories, but I've never been to one, so I can't comment on that. So yeah, I'm gonna get off here, man, because it's 10:09. So I'm gonna get off here, yo. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Donate a like. Thanks for anybody on. Real quick, Total Balls. What's your opinion on sex bots? I wouldn't have a purpose for it because it just doesn't. I have to feel a reaction, while from a human. I think even if you were to program a voice into it, it just wouldn't, because I would know it's a voice, it's a programmed voice, like it just. But I mean, if a sex bot could work for you, then totally go for it. I wouldn't shame you at all. You listen to me. You will not get any sexual shaming from me at all, because I just don't. To be honest about it, it's none of my business to care that much about your personal life with that. I'm not saying like I don't care about your life in the sense of like you're lesser than me, but it's that thing. It's just not it's none of my business to even care that much about what you sexually, what could satiate you sexually. That's just none of my business. It's none of my business to care that much. You see, but I would never shame you if if you were into sex bots. I would never make fun of you. I would never make fun of anybody for that. At least not seriously. Maybe if you caught me on a day when I was just joking and I was, maybe said something. But I wouldn't like seriously think lesser of anybody for whatever the fuck they want to have sex with. I would never do that. But yeah, I'm out of here, man. It's 10:10. Yo, thanks everybody for tuning in, man. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll catch y'all later, man. Peace out.